You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
I can't wait till GameStop starts trading in gently used organs.
Dude, can we sous vide some tonsil stones in a coloscopy bag?
TJ's currently making new teeth right now in his tonsils. You know what's really good for mouth pain? Cocaine.
You know what? Donkey sauce for all! Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 380. I'm your host, Jonathan Danger Rowe. I'm joined by my co-hosts.
Matt, born in the 380 Hague.
TJ, don't Google tonsil pockets, May.
And Spanky, go Chiefs, works.
Yay!
What Chiefs man do you have on there?
This would be Travis Kelce, the tight end.
Kelce.
Number 87.
He's got a real tight end, if you ask me.
Like his butt is good.
That's what they say. You know what I learned? Because they did the Super Bowl, like, we're going to interview everybody on Monday night thing.
Okay.
Did you learn that sports people are really bad at interviews?
Actually, some of them aren't. But what I learned is that the tight end is the lowest paid position in football. And
what? Really?
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of weird because,
Kicker?
like, no, I'm pretty sure every single position is higher paid than tight end. Because, I mean, you think about kicker, they're not on the field very much, but, like, they're on the field they're on the field to score points. That's the only reason they come out there. So I thought that was kind of interesting because there was, like, this thing they did where they had a bunch of kickers at dinner talking to tight ends talking to each other, and they're like, yeah, isn't it crazy that we're the lowest paid? And I think, like, they were using that platform to say fuck you, NFL, which I appreciated.
Yeah,
but at least they could all make jokes about how their asses are tight.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's, like, part of the compensation, if you ask me.
Yeah. So how's everyone doing?
I'm dying.
TJ is apparently dying of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, TJ's throat is literally turning to liquid shit.
Oh, and that's not all. Oh, wait, there's more. Because my broken tooth has been oversensitive and just causing pain, and two of my wisdom teeth are impacting. It's awesome.
You're just gonna have to get your whole mouth replaced.
Yes. And in the meantime, I'll be doing the podcast like this.
Yeah. If you commit a felony, you can get them pulled for free in prison. I don't think they'll treat. They don't do any. I don't think they generally do any dentistry to help, but they will pull, like, fucked up teeth.
You know what they should do though is, like, get
Canadian citizenship.
That would be what you're closer to
I'm
Canada.
almost there. Yeah.
Just get a job at a GameStop in Canada, and you're good. Get your health care.
They got better.
Goddamn Americans coming up from the southern border and taking our jobs.
I mean, that's what's going to happen eventually if we don't get better health care. But
we'll just invade them.
That's true.
Yeah,
it'd be like Canadian Bacon. Remember that movie?
No, was Kevin Bacon in it?
I remember the pizza topping.
John Candy.
John Candy.
I've never seen it.
Canadian Bacon? No, nobody.
No.
John Rowe.
But now I want actual Canadian bacon.
I
love that shit.
No, it's the President of the United States, Alan Alda, agrees to a scheme proposed by a corrupt cabinet member, Stu Smiley, Kevin Pollak, and launches a top-secret propaganda campaign to vilify Canada. As U.S. citizens get caught up in xenophobic hysteria, we all know that's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
A group of residents of Niagara, New York, wielding machine guns, organized a vigilante invasion that could trigger a real war with America's gentle neighbor to the north. Directed by, oh my God, 1995.
Martin
directed
Scorsese.
by Michael Moore, documentarian.
So this is just South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut then.
Yeah, it cost $11 million to make, and it made $200,000 at the box office.
That sounds like a Michael Moore kind of thing, honestly.
Yeah.
This cast fucking slaps, though. You got John Candy, Alan Alda, Rip Torn's in it, Rhea Perlman. You got some good people in here. Stephen Wright. You know Stephen Wright. A lot of Jim Belushi. Never mind. Anyway. Oh, Wallace Shawn's in it. You know Wallace Shawn?
Hey, Wallace Shawn, it's inconceivable.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Remember
guy.
when he said that in that movie?
It's inconceivable that this
Yeah.
would be. You never
Yeah.
start a land war in Canada.
Eh?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next topic that isn't Canadian Bacon, the movie.
World of Warcraft. Let's all. How's everyone's week of World of Warcraft been going?
I am really burnt out on.
I
current
almost
Mono
could
Classic.
pay for it again, but I need to wait until my tax return.
It's okay. By the time you can afford it, we won't be playing it anymore because we'll all be burnt out on it.
I hope not. I'll jump to Final Fantasy 15.
Matt will be
14.
benched.
14.
I'll stop playing.
I'm
Yeah.
wearing the 15 shirt.
Matt, you haven't gotten benched again, though, have you?
No. But
Apparently
we do
no.
have. So the guy that we sold the Eye of Shadow to is
Yeah,
coming up on my ass as the next
That's
Shadow
right.
Priest.
He's stabbing you in the back.
We've created my competition.
Yeah, basically.
And
And
that's
we
not
didn't
the
even
only
get a
thing.
good
Like, I
deal
made him
on it.
his best in slot robes too. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, you're basically gearing up your competition.
But no, yesterday was the first day in like as long as I can remember that I didn't play any WoW, and I haven't played yet today. So I'm like, I think I might have a little bit of a problem that it's taken that long for that to happen.
It's been what, since October 20 or not October, August 20 like 5th or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
Oh man, our guild chat's just popping up. No, nobody's got. If you haven't gotten the message that you're being benched, I don't think you're being benched. So it's all
Well,
right.
he hasn't played in the past 2 days, so it
Yeah.
may just be waiting in the
Well,
inbox.
it's been through Discord lately, so
Oh,
or at least the
Yeah.
first one was, right? Oh, never mind. We got 43 people that signed up, so there'll be some
Hold on.
benching going on.
You're not being benched. You're being offered a promotion to being able to pick up run
Yeah.
Although Matt, your
more.
competition has switched his status to Holy Priest.
Holy
raid.
priest.
There
Yeah,
you
that's what I think he rated with us before that, and
Yeah, he was.
he,
He was a
rated
healer.
as a holy priest.
But we have enough healers. We have an insane amount of healers now.
Nice.
6,
That's good.
4,
You guys don't
6,
need me.
7,
When does that new one
10,
come?
11,
Is that
12,
in like a
13,
week?
14. What?
Blackwing Lair, is that like a week away?
But yeah, so this will be the only WoW Classic news that we'll talk about in this, is that there's a new content patch dropping. It's Blackwing Lair. It's the second raid tier. That is dropping not next week, but the week after, I think the week of the 14th, the week of Valentine's Day, like the 12th or whatever that day is that week.
Okay.
So
I'll have to make sure I'm prepped up for that.
yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it won't be. I honestly don't think it's going to be like a big deal because we
Yeah.
have.
Well, I just need to make sure that I have like enough gold for my consumes and stuff because
Yeah,
I
don't
will
forget
suck.
those. I need to buy some as well. That's not too bad. The thing is, I've kind of turned into raid logging, which is just logging in every week to buy the consumables I need, because this is what happens in WoW. And the way that the game is designed is that basically once you get to max level and you have like stuff, it's like really the only upgrades that you can get now are in the raid. So there's no reason to log on other than once a week
Mhm.
to play, and then to just farm enough money to afford the things to do that part.
Yeah, and I have
So-
that priest robe is a pretty good money maker for me because I can get all the parts for like 40 gold and then easily sell them for 100 gold. So I
Wow.
just try to like make sure I always have one of those up on the auction house, and that
Yeah.
so far has been enough to buy everything I need.
Yep. Yeah. So that's kind of like what the thing is then at this point, this is where people just make alts and level those.
Have you played the battlegrounds since the changes?
No, but okay. Yeah, we can talk about this. So I think we complained about this in past episodes of the Alterac Valley game.
Yeah,
And basically, what was happening was, since the world of Warcraft Classic is heavily horde imbalanced, like more people are on horde, like probably, I don't know, like 70-30 maybe, 65-35, something like that, percentage-wise across all servers. So the battlegrounds are like, cross realm, so all the servers are together. But so the Alliance have had like basically instant queues for all their battlegrounds because there's just so many more Horde people trying the battleground. And the Alliance were abusing that by doing a tactic to use Discord to coordinate signing up for Alterac Valley and then communicating via Discord as like a pre-made. And that is a battleground where it's like 40 on 40 combat, and it's meant to be no pre-mades. You weren't allowed to group at queue. You're not supposed. It's supposed to be like a hectic, like that, no coordination. And now it is full of extreme coordination.
Yeah,
it was, and so they fixed it by doing a patch
and
to make it.
They allowed up to groups of 5 to queue together, right?
So groups of 5 can queue together now. So at least the Horde people can at least play with their friends. And they remove the numbers, so it's harder for the people that are like trying to jump into pre-mades or doing it. But they found a workaround already, apparently.
Of course.
So the pre-mades are back. And I was like talking to people on Reddit about this, and I was like, guys, enjoy this for the week that it's up, because they specifically patched the game to change it from the way it was to fix the pre-made problem. And so if you find a new way, they're just going to stamp it out.
Yeah.
So seriously, find another way to get your battleground in. So people are playing Warsong Gulch more.
That's the thing. Like I hadn't played Warsong since that patch dropped, and I had heard that like just all of the Alliance pre-made switched to Warsong, and that's just complete hell now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it's just you got to be in a pre-made now, and so if you want to be on our Discord server, there's the server Discord server. There's a Horde pre-made discussion.
Okay.
Basically, where you can like talk to people, like saying, "Hey," and somebody made a Crom Crush Discord Warsong Gulch for Horde, so you can like just join that and be like, "Hey, anyone have a group going? You want me to join?" Or you can like look in game. You're just gonna have to like do pre-mades on that. The only problem
I didn't think of doing that through the server Discord.
Yeah. The only problem with World of Warcraft Classic, and it's like the biggest difference from when it was when I played it back in vanilla, is that everybody is a fucking crazy min-maxer now. And so like every single pre-made will be like, oh, you got to be a certain spec to get into our pre-made group for this. It's like just super hardcore. And it's just kind of like it's just, I don't have the effort to like be this hardcore about the game. Like I just want to get in and play and have fun and like do the challenging stuff. And it's kind of annoying with our guild a little bit too, it seems like our guild management has gotten really hardcore into raid logging and like looking at people's stats and trying to be like,
there does seem to be
server.
some creep into more hardcoreness.
Yes, and it's kind of like, okay, like it's like, hey, we're one-shotting the entirety of this raid in under 2 hours, but like we could be 20 minutes faster. And like, why?
Well, the first time they started comparing our numbers to like other top guilds on the server, I was just like, I don't fucking care. It's not a competition.
We're getting the loot, like we're good. But I think people just get like kind of hardcore into it. I'm okay with it in some ways, and the fact that we want to be competitive because we're going into a new tier of content. And if we're soft, we're gonna get fucking wrecked, and it's gonna suck, and people will be pissed, and we'll lose people basically. So I get that, but also there's a point where it's like, okay, like I don't know. Like we don't need to be so hardcore about it. Like just talking about like if you're parsing below this, you're gonna be benched. It's like you're gonna have a hard time holding on to people if you're doing shit like that. Like because there's enough like people because it's for real. The game has been out for a while now, and I think that there's definitely a drop off of player base, like slowly in that. time.
Definitely. I think like the same thing happened in vanilla around this time in the content.
I'm
like,
sure.
I think
there'll be big spikes when Blackwing Lair comes out. There'll be a huge spike when the Anchorage event starts up, and everyone's doing all the war effort stuff. That's cool, and it's just what's going to happen. I mean, it's the same thing that happens in retail. Every time they put down a new patch with new like content and stuff, like a new raid tier, everyone like logs back in and gets way into it and stuff. And I don't know. It's kind of rekindled my love of the game. It's brought me a lot of. It's been a lot of fun. I've made a lot of new friends. I've been having a great time playing with my new friend Spanky.
Yeah.
Team, and we even moved over to leveling in retail now.
Yeah.
Because we had character boosts left over.
Yeah, we had character boosts, and like John said, it's one of those things where you're just making an alt, logging in to your main once a week, and when it's an alt, it's like, who cares if it's classic or retail?
Yeah.
It's just because you're not really doing it to like for it to be your main.
Well,
and, we've been having a lot of fun in retail, like leveling up horde characters in the Zandalar zones and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like the leveling stuff in retail. Way different than in classic, but it's still pretty fun, especially if you got a friend.
Yeah, if you're
like,
running around together.
Most people play it alone now, the retail leveling stuff, but I'm a monk and John's a paladin and both have like sick AoE stuff, so we'll just like grab whole groups of stuff and do AoE. It's actually really fun. Yeah,
just burn them all down, self-healing ourselves. Like it's pretty interesting. Like the content's interesting. It is. There are a lot of problems with retail, and the fact that it seems like every quest area is pretty cookie cutter. It's kill 6 of this guys, collect 3 of these things, kill 2 of these
named guys.
Then you go back, turn all those in, then you go to the next like clockwise over area and do that in a little thing, and it all and some of it's interesting. There are some interesting things. I will say that the Blizzard art team is fucking best in the business. God damn, it looks good. And I had never played. I played all the Alliance quest zones in Battle for Azeroth, which is the newest expansion. But I hadn't played any of the Horde stuff, and so I was just like, yeah, let's make a Horde guy. I'll make a Paladin. I'll make a Tauren Paladin.
Yeah,
going around. Never played a Paladin before, so I'm a big fan of the BFA, at least playing with friends.
Yeah,
and like I've heard the new raid is actually really good.
So I looked up a video on the new raid and I thought it looked kind of underwhelming. So I asked my friend who's like a big raider in retail if he liked it. He said he really likes it. So
I've heard people say it's one of the best raids in a long time. Like it's N'Zoth, so it's like a weird like Cthulhu-esque like dungeon where there's like tentacle monsters,
kind of like Cthulhu and Encourage.
Yeah. And I've heard that's like, it's just the look of it is really cool and epic, and I mean it's kind of exciting to play that, and maybe I'll get up to that. I know they just noticed they just opened up the raid finder for that for the first wing of that tier. So. And that's the other nice thing too, Matt, with retail, is that there's a thing called Raid Finder. So you can just pug all of the raids.
Yeah.
So even if it's not like you're getting the best gear, you can at least see the content, see the cutscenes, follow the story. And I will say, like, having raided, not in this retail, but maybe I think the last time I raided was Draenor, like, it's pretty interesting. Like, it's still challenging. It's the same kind of game. Like, you're coordinating with a group to like defeat bosses. And I remember when I raided heavy, like heroics in Mists of Pandaria, like it was really challenging and rewarding getting those boss kills and stuff. And it was like wiping on bosses and like doing the things and coordinating over voice chat. Like it's the same thing. Like it's still good.
For sure. Yeah.
It's just a different game. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of annoying because all the classes feel very similar now.
Yeah, that's my least favorite thing about retail WoW is that all the classes are very homogenous.
Yeah, they made it so the things aren't quite as specialized, and like classes like mine and Spanky's actually, the Paladin can tank effectively, the Paladin can heal effectively, and the Paladin can DPS effectively now. So it's like I can play any role.
Yeah,
same with the monk. Healer, tank, so it's just kind of like
One thing I don't like about it very much, and I like it in like a small dose, but I think I played WoD, and that's why I hate it, is like the thing all the games are doing there for a while, where it's like you go to a board and you send your recruits out to do missions, but it's really just a timer that ticks away and you get
it's like a mobile game.
Yeah, like I know Assassin's Creed Brotherhood did that.
Yep.
There's a lot of games that started doing that for a while, and WoW is still beating that drum. And I feel like it's mostly not happening as bad in other games anymore.
Yeah, well, no, but like in WoW, it's way less than it used to be. Like that was a huge focus of Draenor. Whereas this is just like, oh, you send them out and they just collect like Azerite for you, and it's just like a thing when you log in to go check your board and see if your guys finish your mission. You just get some rewards.
See, I hated it in Draenor, but I actually liked it in Legion. So
yes,
redid it in Legion.
Was cool.
Yeah, Legion had like a really good version of that where it's like you actually get to see and take with you the people who you recruit if they're not on a mission, stuff like that.
Yeah, Legion had this really cool mechanic where if you would like go around and do quests in areas, and sometimes you do a quest where you'd be able to recruit a member to join your like. And the awesome thing was it was class halls, so every class you played had their own special like zone area where you go in. It had cool art. Like I did the rogue one, and it's in the sewers of Dalaran, and there's all these cool like rogue things going on. And it's just like really cool story wise. And you do rogue missions. Like I had cool rogue missions where I'd have to go back to like old areas and like sneak around and like do heists and shit. Like it was just the class quests were so good. Like the class halls in Legion were so good, and it really brought back that like uniqueness of each class you were playing. Like the Hunter Hall, I think has like just like cool like beasts up on the wall, and there's all these cool hunter guys hanging out. Like it's just every class kind of had its own like feeling, and you'd like interact with story characters you've met throughout WoW. Like I think one of the guys you get one of the people you get as a rogue is what's her name? Van Cleef's daughter is one of the people. So it's just like all these like story things, and each class hall had its own storyline. So like you'd finish it. It was just cool. It was like it actually felt like you had like some like I'm a rogue. I'm doing cool rogue shit. Like whereas when you're just leveling, it's like I have my attack things. I have my every class in WoW has a health thing now to heal. Every class is a self heal now. So like rogues just have a potion that they can pop every 30 seconds. It does like heals you like 40% or something like that. So yeah, that's the problem. Is they've homogenized a lot of the classes.
The druid stuff in Legion, the class hall was really cool because it was like Malfurion, Stormrage, and Cenarius, and Ysera, the Green Dragon, who dies in Legion. Like you get extra quests about her instead of just the one in where she dies in Legion, and like it just a lot of really cool extra stuff about that for druids. So they put a lot of work into every single class hall, and it makes it all really fun.
Yeah, Legion was a really good expansion. And I will say World of Warcraft seems to have the every other expansion problem being good and bad. Because, like, okay, Legion was probably one of people's favorite expansions since, like, Wrath. So Legion was good. Draenor was bad. I guess Pandaria was good, even though people bitched about it. Because we know Cataclysm before it was bad.
Yeah, Wrath was probably best WoW ever.
Yeah, Wrath of the Lich King was amazing. And then
that was the last time. That was
Burning Crusade was good at first because I think it was really cool that they had it, but the like daily questing, like
oh man, the Summel Plateau area sucked.
Yeah,
the Isle of the Sun or whatever. I hated that.
Yeah, it just became a daily quest grind. Like log in every day, do your 5 dailies, log out. Like
like that. That was awful.
Yeah, and so it really is kind of like every other expansion's been good. So. They don't have a release date yet for Shadowlands. They're saying 2020, which is the new expansion. But I saw somebody post like, well, they haven't said what the release date was, but Legion came out in August and BFA came out in August. So probably going to be August.
No, I'm super into WoW lore. That's honestly the reason I got into World of Warcraft was the lore because I played Warcraft 3 and like read the novels and shit.
We could talk about Warcraft 3 too because there's a little
Reforged.
Yeah, I bought that, and it's a little strange. It's like,
so what is Warcraft Reforged? Warcraft 3 Reforged.
I don't even think it's a remastered version of the game. They took the game as it was. They updated the engine to support 4K, to support whatever, high resolution models and whatever. But it's the same engine, just like kind of redone. And they redid like not the like pre-rendered movies, but the cutscenes that are in engine. They redid those, and everything looks great. I don't think they redid any of the voice acting, although they might have, and I just haven't heard any that's redone yet because obviously a lot of it was good anyway. But so what weirded me out is I bought it, and I bought the special edition because if you do, you get a meat wagon you can ride around in retail WoW, and I thought that was pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can like fling it like it's a catapult. You can fling the meat, the flesh in the meat wagon. So that was worth it for me.
Yeah, because I think it's like every mount. Like if you're standing, you hit spacebar. They do like an animation or something.
Yeah,
except for Kodos.
Except for Kodos,
WoW.
Yeah, they do nothing. It's annoying.
But so I bought it, and I was expecting it to be like, all right, download it, and it didn't make me download it or anything. It was just like hit the play button. And I was like,
oh, wow.
What? So I hit play, and it just started up. And then I went to, like, load game, and my saves from my, old Warcraft 3 were there to load. So it's, like, it's weird. It's, like, it's almost like if you bought Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne in the past, you just don't get the new stuff that they added to it. But I don't know how they did it, because I guess at some point Warcraft 3 updated and already put all the files for Reforged on my computer. And then I paid Blizzard $40 to hit play to use the files on my computer to play that game. And that kind of like pissed me off a little bit. I mean, I've liked it. It's been really fun, and like they redid it, and it's a really good job. But like I was a little just pissed that like they had the whole game on my computer and we're just like, pay $40 and we'll turn it on for you.
I think it was as of this morning, but Warcraft 3 Reforged currently has a less than 10 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
It's like a 7 out of 100.
Oh, yeah, because, like, well, is that Metacritic of the people that are reviewing it, or is that actual reviewers?
I didn't look at it. I just saw the number used in memes.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I was wondering if there was like some big controversy around it, or
because
something.
Well, it's a
I imagine it is.
So everyone's got a big controversy. Oh, let's look at the critic reviews, because that's really what I care about. Because user scores are always just people bitching about something they dislike.
Honestly, what I can say about it is that it's not a whole lot of it has been redone. So it's really good if you don't own the game and you want to buy it, and then you get that. But I've not found anything in it that I thought was like egregious or like awful. I've only played a bit of the first orc one and the human campaign, so maybe it gets shittier as you go on, but it seemed fine to me.
So I think the people that have been complaining about it is, so Blizzard kind of talked a big game like a few years ago about Warcraft 3 Reforged. They were like, hey, we're going to have new visuals. We're going to change the storyline a little bit to like match World of Warcraft, like to fit in better with that. And it does look a lot better. But people are like, it actually doesn't look good though. Like they didn't make it.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think it looks good, honestly.
Okay, but the thing is that they were teasing.
Is it just that it doesn't look like a modern game?
No, it's that. Yeah, that's part of it. But during BlizzCon 2018, they teased like new cutscenes and things that are not in the game. So they very much like pushed back what they were going to do for updates, basically. And I think people actually talked about how some of the cutscenes that were in the game, like the old like pre-rendered cutscenes, those are the same. They originally planned though to redo them with their new their RPG. Like,
yeah, you see, so I'm a perfect example of like I didn't know anything about their. Like I had no clue what they said they were gonna do. I just knew like when I turned on Battle.net, it said Warcraft 3 Reforged. It's gonna happen, and that's all that like. And from that day, I was just like, all right, I'll just wait for it to come out. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't watch any hype shit. I didn't go to any subreddit. I don't do any of that shit. So what happened to me was I saw the game came out, I bought it, and I played it, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty good. So honestly, if you want an opinion of someone who liked the first Warcraft 3, and like the graphics do not look bad in it, but if everyone's opinion is based on what Blizzard promised, then like I can't change that. I can only comment on like it's not a shitty game.
Yeah. So here's Ars Technica has a review of this, and they're just saying this isn't patch notes. This is actually some of the things they came across. Previously, you were able to play Frozen Throne and Reign of Chaos campaigns launched as you see fit. Now you can't play the Frozen Throne campaign, which is the second add-on, until you've beaten the game, which is weird because you definitely didn't have to do that before.
No.
Reign of Chaos campaign is now saddled with the Frozen Throne expansion pack's balance and unit changes. So I
think that's okay.
I mean, whatever. It's just
like,
weird though. If you can't play Frozen Throne right away, but you have to play Reign of Chaos, which is the original version with the Frozen Throne upgrades, it's just weird.
Because they combined the game is what they did.
Let's see here. Graphics settings has its own save file, so you can't switch between them in missions, I guess. Whatever. Here's the weird. Here's the stuff that's really kind of annoying. Is online. He's saying this guy says every launch of the game boots players into a live public chat room with no option to disable this.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Upon my first boot of the game, I was greeted with walls of repeating text from a single user who referenced Nazism, Islamophobia, and an ASCII rendering of male genitalia.
Yeah, cool. I didn't encounter that. Now, what I'll say is that for me, when you first started up, there is a play offline button. And if you don't click that, and I think it might even be on like a timer or something, but like if you don't click that, or you click like play now, or like there's a button that just makes it seem like get past this fucking pop up and get into the game, and that takes you to the online one. If you hit play offline, it's just like the old startup menu would be.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It does, like, I think the default is to auto log you to BattleNet, but I did that the first time I started the game, but ever since then I just clicked the play offline button.
Here we go. Should you load a custom map, the chat interface combines with the default open chat channel. So I guess if you tried to play custom maps, you'd have to be online anyway, basically.
Yeah.
The original Warcraft 3 chat interface is just worse, this guy's saying. Here's the egregious thing that I could see people complaining about is if the game fails to connect to Blizzard servers for any reason, you're still allowed to boot into the single player campaign, but you won't be able to save your progress, which is insane. Despite the game clearly writing your single player progress to local editable text files.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's the dumb always online bullshit that's going on.
I don't know that and that's to say I hit play offline.
Well, you're still connected to the servers. You
just
aren't visible as online, and you're not connecting to other players. But your computer is still talking over the internet. So, like, let's just say you didn't have internet, but you wanted to play this single player only game. You can't. Which is
that's pretty fucked up.
It's just people were just expecting it to be really good, and like all the stuff that they had kind of promised, they had a bit walked it back, I think, a little bit, and they had talked about how they weren't going to do quite as much as they had initially wanted to. But they put it out anyway, and it was delayed. I think it was supposed to come out last year.
So I do remember hearing one little piece of news, and that was that when they announced this, they're like, yeah, we're going to have this whole team like dedicated to real-time strategy now. And they're going to work on things like new StarCraft games and maybe even they're going to work on the remaster of Warcraft 3. And, we'll see where it goes from there. And as far as I remember, there was a story about all that team got canned or reassigned. So I think what they did was, how far did they get on Warcraft 3 Reforged? Put some people on that to just finish out whatever they did and then sell it. And I think that's probably how that went, because I think for a moment Blizzard was thinking, hey, the real-time strategy is due for like a nostalgic reboot of that genre, especially since like There's people who were introduced to like League of Legends and Dota and are like familiar with the like how to control a real time strategy.
I was about to say that is how I played Dota. I played Dota the original way.
Me too.
Dota was a Warcraft 3 mod.
Yep.
And that's
made by the guy who now makes Dota 2 for Valve.
Yes.
Well, not originally, but
and so speaking of Dota, that could never happen in Warcraft 3 Classic Reforged. Or whatever,
this is the other thing I heard about it.
Because they have a line in the EULA saying any custom maps or modes or mods that you create are owned by Blizzard.
Yep.
Which is kind of like, okay, I guess. But like that wasn't the way it was originally. And that was a really cool thing about the game because people made crazy custom maps.
That was like the best part of BattleNet.
It was so amazing, man. Playing like Defense of the Ancient maps and shit is just, it was so cool. Like it was a completely different game, but it was in the game, and that's kind of the thing that exists in StarCraft 2. But I don't know if that must have the same EULA thing.
I'd imagine.
It's just annoying. Like, why are you doing this, guys? Come on. Like, anyway.
The glory of capitalism, man.
I know, yep. Capitalism is the greatest. It's why everyone has the best healthcare in the world, and that's it, really.
Well, they can either have healthcare or they can have an iPhone, and obviously the market has decided that they want an iPhone.
That's true. Yeah, it's really interesting that I can't get this healthcare procedure that costs out of pocket like $3,000 because I bought a $400 phone.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense
on a payment plan. That's part of my
where I'm paying it for $40 a month. Yes, rather than this healthcare. Although a lot of healthcare agencies will, and maybe that's something that people need to look into too. Is a lot of healthcare agencies will have special pricing for out of cash basically. So I've heard people say like, hey, how much does this x-ray cost in my plan? And they're like, oh, it's like $600 plus the technician fee. I'm like, what if I paid cash? They're like, oh, it's like $150. You're like, what? Why is that? But you have to go through your insurance if you have insurance because they have negotiated prices.
So it's just like cheaper for them if you bypass all of that.
It's like paying in cash instead of credit card. Okay. They're just like, no, it's not. It's part of that, but I mean, they also have like payment plans and stuff. I mean, like it's one of those things that a lot of places will work with you. Like for instance, whenever I get care at the UW Health, which is what I have, the local place. They always will say, pay this now or pay, over 12 months, so it's like, but it's still insane. Like this should just be something I get because I pay taxes.
Yeah.
I want to be alive and healthy.
We need that money for Patriot missiles, John. It's right there in the name.
Anyway, so let's talk about the coronavirus, guys, huh?
Yay.
So I saw a funny comment, which is that the beer company Corona has been alerted by Google that searches for Corona beer virus and Corona light virus have surged astronomically in their search results. So a lot of people are hearing coronavirus, and they're thinking it has something to do with the beer.
I did see somebody on the 3D printer subreddit made a coronavirus. That is a giant virus model that fit around a Corona bottle.
That's nice. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. I guess it's like a less dangerous SARS, but more virulent, I guess. Easier to spread.
So what's the deal with not allowing people... I forget. Not allowing... basically people from China to enter the country right now. I saw something about that.
Well, I mean, it's standard protocol when you have a virus that has human-to-human transmission is you got to close borders. And China is actually telling people not to travel abroad because they don't want it to spread. Because,
is that just like a buying time? Because I imagine you can't 100%. Stop it indefinitely.
It's buying time. That's what it is.
Well, people try to come up with like a shot or something.
Well, to come up with a vaccine and also, and when you quarantine a drug, it'll hit, or a disease, it'll hit all the people that it can hit. And then it'll just be like, well, there's nowhere to go now. So everyone got better and it's gone. But if you spread widely, you know, it's like an exponential thing.
Yeah.
Like it goes to the US, it spreads to Canada, it spreads, you know, to Mexico, it spreads to South America. It just, you know, boo.
That's why you have to wait until you're in every country before you start investing in symptoms. You have to be asymptomatic for the most of the game.
Well, what's the game?
Plague Inc. But
Plague Inc. is really good.
Yeah, but what's the original Flash one?
I don't remember.
But Pandemic's a fun board game too.
That's it.
Okay. Pandemic was the original Flash game too.
Flash game. Yeah.
So, a couple facts about the coronavirus. It's less deadly than the flu. So, you know, so the amount of people I'm sure that are freaking out about the coronavirus and haven't gotten their flu shots yet, get your fucking flu shot because you're more likely to get the flu than this.
Yeah. So when you say it's less deadly than the flu, does that just mean that more people have the flu, or does that mean that the symptoms are less
people
intense?
Who've died.
Well, and the percentage of people that have died, I think it's like maybe 1 in 400 or something.
The last that I knew, there was with the coronavirus, something like 14,000 confirmed cases and less than 100 deaths, and a lot of those, and that's counting. There was a story I saw, a kid who had cerebral palsy, whose parents were quarantined, died because his parents were quarantined and couldn't take care of him, and he's counted in the victims of coronavirus.
That's
and then there's also people who had cancer and people who had weakened immune system. The people who just are regular healthy people and caught the virus and then died is extremely small compared to the flu, which you can be healthy and catch the flu and fucking die.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that viral infections are super generally not that deadly unless you have problems, because viruses can't destroy your body like bacteria does. Bacteria will take over and push out away healthy cells and things, whereas viruses
a virus just wants to replicate, right? To
exist. And so they don't attack the same way, and you can't treat them like bacteria. That's the thing, is if you hear about getting viral meningitis, oh, that's bad. Bacterial meningitis is you may die because of how dangerous bacteria are, because of how quickly they can replicate. Viruses are different. They can be deadly. Like Ebola is a virus that is very deadly. This is less deadly than SARS was, but it seems to transfer between people much easier. SARS was a thing that was very, I think, difficult to transmit, and that was another type of virus. It's really interesting to try and figure out. I think it'll be really interesting to read kind of how this started, when we get the whole backstory of how this happened, because we're talking about a really interesting thing this was a virus that was transmitted from an animal to a human.
Yeah.
And then mutated to be able to transmit between humans and humans, which has been confirmed. Human to human contact can transmit the disease.
That's usually where the new flus and stuff come from, right? And
yeah.
So usually it traces back to wherever there are lots of people living in close contact with lots of animals.
Yep.
And because of the way that agriculture is now, there's a lot more stuff like that where animals are concentrated in huge amounts.
You see it a lot in China specifically because they just have a very huge farming community. It's not like the US where farms are all huge factories where you have two people.
Everybody thinks about China, they think Beijing and stuff, but there's huge rural areas.
Yeah, where it's just I got my cattle that I farm. That's my thing I do. This is a huge fucking country. Anyway, so I think it's really interesting to think about that whole thing. I think it's really cool to see because it doesn't seem like it's particularly a dangerous disease. I mean, it could always mutate to be
unless
more
if they're saving up points and then you just throw it all into organ failure or something like that. That is
the I mean, I love playing that game where you you have to like have maximum like what is it virality or whatever, so it spreads super far, but low symptoms, so people aren't reporting it and like things. So
and you get the like
huge...
the modifier that decreases the chance of random mutations.
Yeah, and then once it's spread, then you turn up the deadliness, and then it's like, oh shit, and then you get Morocco closes its borders and you're fucked. Or no, not
or
Madagascar.
Greenland.
Madagascar.
Yeah, it's always
Greenland.
either Madagascar or Greenland.
And it's like, fuck you bitches. Like, somebody swim over there. I gotta kill everybody there.
You can do that in the zombie variant. You can like send hordes across the ocean and stuff. That takes forever to get there, but I guess they just walk across the ocean floor.
Yeah. I guess the flu this year is extremely less bad. I guess there's 2 flu strains that are pretty popular this year.
Wasn't the flu vaccine this year also not very accurate? Like it was way off of what I ended up getting.
But the interesting thing about the flu vaccine, because people will bitch and say like, oh, they never get it right anyway. It's that if you have a flu vaccine, you will be healthier against the strains that do come because your body will be more prepared for flu fighting.
Yeah, imagine if you get it every year.
It's like you get a head start. Your body's got a head start on it.
There have been only a few times in history where the model, because they have to like use a model to predict.
They got to predict
flu virus.
What's going to come around.
There has been like maybe twice in history where the model's been so good that like if you got the flu shot, you're not getting the flu. Yeah. Every other time, it's like if you get the flu shot, you're anywhere from 20 to like 80% less likely to get the flu.
I love that.
Or if your flu shot was terrible.
Or if you do get the flu, you'll have a shorter duration because your body will be able to start up its flu fighting faster because it was prepped. Interesting anecdote about this. I get my flu shot through work for free. They just come around and do it, and I just sign up and get it. And you can get at Walgreens for like $20 if you have healthcare that's free. Usually, every time I go to the doctor for anything, they're just like, "Hey, do you get your flu shot?" Every time, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like we can give it to you. We got them right here. Like, we'll stick you. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good. But the was it last year, 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I think something. My wife was either between jobs or something, and she didn't get the flu shot because her job didn't have it, and she definitely got the flu. And I had gotten the flu shot, and I was like, I got sick, and my sick was like, oh man, I'm taking today off, and I'm fine the next day. Hers was like, I'm out for a week. And I'm like, that's the difference. Like, it can help you. Like, one of us had like I don't feel great for a couple days versus like, oh, I'm dying for like a week. Like, so if you get the flu shot, it's a real good deal. Like, it can help. And
if you can't afford a flu shot, just go outside and start eating dirt and licking doorknobs, and you'll build up that immune system.
Get that inoculation going.
Well, what you do is you get the used flu shots, and then there's a little bit left in each one. If you just pull it together, you can just drink it.
Oh, that's gonna be the new GameStop model.
We'll take all the old flu shots and that. It's just so stupid because flu shots are so unbelievably cheap.
I can't wait till GameStop starts trading in gently used organs.
Dude, that's GameStop's new angle. They're going to be like, hey, we're going to start giving out healthcare here for cheaper. Used healthcare supplies. Give me your old CPAP nose pieces and things. We'll resell them for cheap because...
Used calves.
Yeah.
I don't like pain when I calf.
Oh my God. Used colostomy bags. Used to rinse them out. Oh my God. Anyway,
you can use them as like food storage bags too.
Every time I see those, I think
it's like bags. A sous vide. That's what they use them for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we gotta stop talking about that. That's bad.
Hey TJ, how are your tonsil stones?
Oh, don't Google them,
dude. Can we sous vide some tonsil stones in a coloscopy bag?
Sure. I'll send you some.
What's the exchange rate there?
I have your addresses.
TJ, you're just you got mouth pearls.
Yeah.
Because isn't that what clams do? Is it calcium that originally pearls from?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would imagine it's like like sand is what silicon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know it starts as like a sand thing, and then just mucus like coats it and coats it and coats it.
Well, they like farm pearls. Like,
Pearls
with
are
that.
mucus balls, you guys.
Oh, I make those all the time.
So yeah, TJ, you're an oyster. You can make pearls.
So when I'm making my O face, that's my oyster face.
Yes.
That's right.
Hmm.
I won't do that.
I've never had oysters. They seem gross.
Yeah, they probably are. I don't want to bother.
Okay, formation of natural pearl begins when a foreign substance slips into the oyster between the mantle and the shell and irritates the mantle. It's kind of like the oyster getting a splinter. The natural reaction is to cover up that irritant and protect itself. Got it. So it isn't the same. So
Okay.
so what happens is that like a clam will get like a piece of dirt in their organ, and then to fix that, they basically have their body create like what they have on their shells, like the hard coating of their shells around the object in there. And so that's what that is. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a collection of like dirt or something, and then it just formed into that in the mouth. But they just make a shell, like a mini shell around it, like a dirt. Huh.
So
TJ, make your some mouth pearls.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. And as we're talking about the future,
A mouth pearl necklace.
we are less than 2 weeks from the big day. The big day, February 14th. What's on February 14th?
Nothing.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Is it? That's when the movie comes out?
Yes, it is.
Oh, they really didn't want people to see that.
No.
It's a perfect date movie for
They redid
yourself.
Sonic,
for
remember?
me.
He's got to go fast.
Yeah.
That's what I say when I'm in the bedroom. What up?
Yeah.
Get it?
No.
So, Matt, I need details.
Yeah.
I need details from you.
About what?
You just wrote in the doc. Okay, I can read that now. I quit sugar.
Yeah.
Now, was that PCP?
No. But it
Okay.
kind of felt like it. Like, so I haven't had any sugar since
I'm gonna
last
get a refill.
Saturday.
I'll be right back.
Are you
And-
doing
I'm gonna
Whole
get some
30?
sugary drink. Actually, I'm diet soda, but
I'm doing what?
Are you doing Whole 30?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Are you just going keto?
I'm using a keto app to keep track, but I'm not going full keto because that's
Okay.
insane. So, like, basically, I felt for a long time like my health was getting worse and worse, and I felt garbagier and garbagier until like last Saturday. I was like, okay, let's see if how long I can go without having any sugar at all, and I haven't had any for the past week, and I do feel a lot healthier, and I've lost a bunch of weight already. And the worst part was like maybe Tuesday night was the height of my sugar crash, where I think I was awake for like 4 hours on Tuesday, and
Chills, cold sweats, shakes?
no, mostly just like zero energy, and like I didn't really have headaches or anything or cravings like that. I just like felt like a pile of mush.
Okay.
And then like, yeah, Monday and Tuesday I'd wake up pretty late, and then by the time like 4 o'clock would come around, I'd just be exhausted and useless. So I've been like living off of these sugar-free Red Bulls since then. But now it's starting to turn around, and
So you have been having the sugar substitute, so you at least have sweetness in your mouth.
yeah. And I imagine eventually it would be a good idea to cut down on those too.
Yeah.
Just because of like, you know, that whole thing where it can fuck up your insulin response to have a bunch of artificial sweeteners because your body's like, sugar's coming, and then it doesn't, and then eventually it's just like, oh, sweetness, well, we can ignore this.
what up?
But yeah, I do. It's surprising how quickly I've like started to feel like a more healthy person by doing nothing but quitting sugar. It's fucking weird.
I remember I quit soda about 5 years ago. I'll have soda like once every like 2 or 3 months now. And mostly I just drink water or like LaCroix or whatever.
Or beer.
Well, yes, a lot of beer. And I didn't quit
Beer is
carbs.
basically a grain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Beer is like eating bread.
You know what the craziest
Yeah.
thing is? My hangovers are less intense right now. I think just like my baseline is better enough to the point where like when I'm hungover, I just kind of feel as bad as I used to all the time.
I mean, sugar is basically just poison. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what it is. It's
But
what
it's
you should
so
think
good.
It is, but it's really bad for you because your body can create all the sugars it needs from the food that you eat.
Yeah.
You don't need to
it's
have
weird that
actual
like
sugar.
I guess it's just that we're evolved for a time where it's a lot harder to find calories, so it's just like, oh, there's so many calories in this. Let me fucking fire off all the dopamine and make sure you want this all the time.
Yeah. It's fucked up. It's almost like our technical evolution did not catch up to our physical evolution, but
A big
things
turning
change.
point for me was just kind of becoming okay
Turning
with
point.
the horrible taste of artificial sweeteners. Coke Zero's not bad. Coke Zero tastes pretty good. But
honestly, if you get used to Diet Coke and then you start Coke Zero, you actually think Coke Zero tastes good.
Really?
Yeah, I like back in high school, I was on like a thing where I was like, I'm just gonna drink Diet Coke. Like I'm just gonna fucking get over it and start drinking Diet Coke.
yeah.
Did it for maybe like 3 months, and then like the at the school we had a vending machine, and they started carrying Sprite Zero and Coke Zero. And on a whim, one day I got Sprite Zero, and I'm like, "Fuck, this just tastes like Sprite," because I've been drinking all this fucking aspartame shit, like with the aftertaste. And I drink this, and it actually tasted good. Now, after that, I went back to drinking regular soda, and then Sprite Zero no longer tasted like Sprite Zero. But when you first go to diet and then do a zero, it actually was pretty
that's
good.
interesting.
I like Coke Zero. I always have.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I haven't had it before like this week, but it seemed pretty close to regular Coke to me.
You need to really be like the companies that create sodas really need to be pushing this like zero product development stuff. Like the more you can make the non-sugar containing stuff taste like sugar, like fucking focus on that, because the reckoning is coming for sugary sodas.
Mhm.
Like people just aren't drinking it anymore, and like various countries or municipalities are making it like more expensive to get sugar sodas. It's just they're bad for you. And I want to point out, orange juice and other fruit juices are also just as bad for you.
Yeah,
They are
anything from concentrate for sure, because like they just get concentrated orange juice, pour in a bunch of fucking high fructose corn syrup and water, and then that's what they call juice.
Even the like fresh squeeze stuff, you're just taking.
It's just a lot of sugar.
You're just taking the fruit and removing all of the healthy fiber parts and just keeping the sugar part.
It's like, let's get rid of the fiber, the stuff that like my body uses to like help digest the sugar slower or whatever, and let's just get that sugar right in my body. Like,
Yeah.
and like I guess the crazy thing to look at is like when you look at a glass of orange juice and a glass of Coke, the Coke's like this much sugar and the orange juice is like that much. It's like almost as much sugar as a Coke, guys.
All right, so
Don't drink a lot. Like drink it, juice is fine. It's good for you. It's got vitamins, but have a glass a day, a small glass of juice a day. You don't need to be chugging it all day, being like, this is healthy, because it's not soda.
as the resident sommelier, as we've
That's
mentioned
true.
in the past,
That is your job.
who also used to work at Noodles and Company, home of the Coke Freestyle machine. I think I've mentioned this in the past, but it's worth bringing up again. On the Coke Freestyle machine, the only thing that pulls from the Coke base, because in the Freestyle machine, you have a base, it pulls the water or carbonated water from the source, and then it pulls either regular sugar or non-nutritive sweetener. Regular sugar, high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
The only one that pulls from the regular Coke base is just standard Coke. If you get Coke Cherry or Coke Vanilla or Coke Orange or Coke whatever, you get any of the Coke flavors that's still with sugar, it will pull from the Coke Zero base and then pull high fructose corn syrup. Because the
So it's just adding sugar to Coke Zero.
so the Coke Zero base, which is different than the Diet Coke base.
Yeah.
But yeah, Coke Zero with the non-nutritive and Diet Coke with the non-nutritive do have a different taste from the freestyle machine, at least.
Well, like Diet Coke has its own flavor. I actually love the flavor of just aspartame full Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I just got you. It tastes like refreshing to me. It's like got that bite that I like. You know? Like, I like it.
It's very bitey. You know what I always liked is whenever I had like a sore throat and I felt like I wanted to like scratch my throat, I would always get like some ice cold Diet Coke and tear it down, and it felt like it was the bubbles were razor blades on my throat. And I was like, yeah, that's so good.
Well, it was really good too. Like back in the day, like I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, but when I used to smoke cigarettes, Diet Coke is really good with that because it has like a really strong like bite to it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's like coffee and cigarettes, you know, like it's got this like
it
good
has to
flavor.
Stand up to that strong cigarette flavor,
basically.
Yeah.
You know what?
Like,
tequila was my like when I smoked. I drank I almost never drink tequila.
Just
now,
like straight tequila.
Just like I need that bite in my life.
Yeah, exactly. So like I don't really like tequila that much now, but whenever I was a smoker, that's like what I would drink. I would just take a shot of tequila and light up a cigarette immediately, and that was like, there we go. It's my shit. And then I quit smoking, and I'm like, fuck tequila. It sucks.
This sucks ass, actually. God damn, man.
Well, I like good tequila, but I'm not going to spend $50 on a bottle of booze, and I could spend like $18 on a bottle of whiskey and be fine.
Can you still buy clove cigarettes?
No. We talked about this before.
No.
We talked about this when me and you were questing in WoW Classic in the Hillsbrad foothills.
I got it.
Is that part of that whole banning flavored cigarettes thing?
So they did do that, but I think that you still can get clove cigarettes because they now make the clove cigarettes with the paper is made out of tobacco leaves now, so it's technically a cigarello.
You just can't get a flavored clove, I don't think. Like
there is an exception. Yeah, here we go. Okay, wait, there is an exception to the rule when receiving cigarettes as gifts through the USPS. So I think you can buy them foreign and have them shipped in via the postal service.
That's some real, like, that's some art house bullshit. Like, oh, my country doesn't sell these, so I have to import them from Uzbekistan.
It is so insane,
so
though.
You just give them a donation, and then completely unconnected, they send you a gift.
So the interesting thing about like the clove, here it is. However, Kretek International, the importer of the Jarum brand, which are the black clove cigarettes, the ones that all the goths and I smoked, but I was not a goth, but I was a theater
You were
kid.
goth adjacent.
Yeah, I was goth adjacent. I hung out with a goth girl, so that's how we smoked together.
That's how everyone becomes goth.
Yeah. So they continue to offer the clove and tobacco products as little cigars, which have lower taxes in some U.S. states and looser restrictions than cigarettes. So it's like their accomplishment of removing flavored cigarettes has just made clove cigarellos, which is almost the exact same thing, I'm sure, cheaper and less restricted. Like it's just like the anti-tobacco legislation stuff is such bullshit.
Our
so
cigarello
bad.
is completely exempt from that flavor stuff.
Because people, you have grape fucking cigars that people fucking pack.
When I was like
in, you know,
18 or 19, I would get like these White Owl like apple flavored cigarellos and stuff. The really classy kind, and you can tell it's classy because it has a plastic mouthpiece.
Yeah. One time I went, this was like, must have been, I was like 16 or 17. We went to the restaurant, the only one left in town where you could still smoke inside. Because this was during the like, everything is just going non-smoking no matter what now. We went to that one. It was also the one open 24/7, and it was like after a football game. I think it was like 1 a.m, and someone's like, "Here, smoke this," and gave me like a wine flavored Swisher Sweet or something. And I'm like, okay. And I smoked cigarettes at the time, so I'm like, okay. So I just started smoking it like a cigarette. Basically, smoked an entire like cigarillo, wine flavored cigarillo, like it was a cigarette, like inhaling and everything. I woke up the next morning and I was like, what did I do?
Is this illegal? to do. I'm on cigarettecretek.com, and you can just order clove cigarettes, $5 a pack, which seems extremely cheap.
Yeah, no
Based on
kidding.
what
That's like a
cigarette-
pack of Marlboros here.
But it's just like, but like when you think about it, you could just like, is this what like people that smoke a lot do now? Is do you order cigarettes online because they're cheaper? Use your
People
buddy.
that smoke regularly, I think they just like order by the carton.
Yeah, cartons. Like when you think about buying, because my parents used to smoke and they'd buy like cartons at a time, you know, at the grocery store or whatever.
Yeah,
And like a
at
carton
the Sam's
is
Club.
a carton of cigarettes.
200 cigarettes.
Insane.
Mhm.
It is. And it's so much. Like if you were to buy a carton now, it's like, how much is a carton? Oh, it's like $150.
Yeah,
Because it's like 10 packs, you know, and or not 150, but like $100. Get close with tax. Like you're like, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I live in the South technically, so they're only like $48.
So I'm used to like Illinois, Wisconsin, which have really high cigarette taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
no, you can get a pack of Marlboro Reds for like $4.85 in Missouri right now. At least
Yeah.
where I live in Missouri.
Still, even recently, every once in a while, I'll decide I want to be a rebel, and I'll like pick up a pack of cigarettes, and I think they're like $9 each now, and
Oof.
just just thinking about people that measure their habit in packs a day, packs plural. Like, how do you even spend that much money?
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking about that. That is like probably $250 a month you're spending.
That's insane.
That's what was that, TJ? A Nintendo Switch a month or whatever?
Yeah.
That's almost a half
If
a
it's
shot of
more than
insulin.
one pack a day and it's $9,
Yeah.
if it's more than one, so let's just say 2 packs a day, that's $18 a day. Rounded
That's
out to
$540
even 20. That's
I got,
that'd
like-
be what, $600 or $400, something like that.
So now that I'm all healthy from not eating sugar, I think I should balance that out by taking up smoking.
Well, you know, do cigars.
I've got too much, I'm getting too much energy now, so I need to unhealthify myself a little bit. So I think smoking is good.
Do you know that like Kretek, the cigarette company, is like that make the cloves, like the black cigarettes that were in the cool Dejarum case or whatever? That is an Indonesian brand. They're imported from Indonesia, which is insane. Like, what a weird thing. I didn't know that when I smoked those. Like, oh my God. Like, oh man, smoking is just insane, man. I'm so lucky I just don't have the body that is addicted to it.
Yeah.
Does that make
I always
Like-
had, I've always had
when I
fucked up
stopped, I was
sinuses.
done. Like, I was like, I'm done.
I've always had fucked up sinuses, so smoking has never been pleasurable enough for me to want to do it all the time. Because
Thing is, I never got
I enjoy
into
it in the moment, but
you
then
know?
the next day I'll have a pounding sinus headache.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I never got in deep. It was more like I'm hanging out with all these theater people and we're drinking, and I'll have like 2 or 3 cigarettes
Hmm.
a night, like 2 or 3 nights a week.
I definitely got in pretty deep. I didn't get to a pack a day,
Yeah.
but I got close.
So I guess maybe it's easier to be addicted when your body is so used to it, like every 4 or 5 hours getting a cigarette. For me, it was just like, oh, on Friday night I'll have a few cigarettes while we're drinking beers in my friend's house, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Another week.
this most recent time for me, it was have one in the car on the way to work, have one in the car on the way home, and sometimes
Yeah.
have one on my lunch break.
So that was kind of like it
2
was
or
for
3
me,
cigarettes a
but
day.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I was a pizza delivery driver, so it was like every time I get out into my car and go on to take a delivery pizza to someone's house, I'll
Yeah.
smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, it's there's a fun ritual to that, and you get so used to it, so that if you stop when you get in your car, you're like, there's something missing. There's something I'm supposed
Yeah.
to do right now.
that's kind of a lot
Yeah.
of it is the ritual of it, you know. And I
Yeah,
feel
so now
like
I just drink beer when I'm in the car.
crack one open before you get home. That's it. Yeah, replace your cigarette smoking with drinking. Or now you can just smoke marijuana in a lot of states. So
Yeah, you can
Not
vape
Wisconsin.
alcohol too.
for some reason, Illinois though, Adam's happy. Adam's dead now, probably. I mean, we talked to him last week, but
We did.
he was
Well, you
clearly
did.
on his last.
He's probably
legs.
dead now. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been on his last legs for a while.
Just like, you know, once you legalize weed, it's all over.
I think like as a like my last legs, just like looking at that phrase literally,
Yeah,
you don't get more legs. Like you start with your last.
that's true. You're always on your last
As
legs.
a literal phrase, I'm not quite sure how we ended up with that one.
Is
as
it
being-
supposed to be singular? You're on your last leg, like you've already
Maybe.
lost one, and now you're a cool pirate,
that makes a lot more sense.
like
And I
Tim
bet-
There it
Curry
is.
and the
That is
Muppet.
Oh, wait, I'm looking at the
Treasure
etymology
Island.
of the phrase.
After that, look up. The
No, it's
etymology.
last legs though, is what people say. So that's what it's listed in the dictionary as a phrase.
I mean, it
Not
sounds
just
like
leg.
you're like your legs will function for one more round of this boxing match, so you're on your last leg. So it sounds like a phrase kind of like that,
Yeah,
and it works that way. I just think that literally as a phrase, it's very interesting to be pedantic about. Giving up sugar or getting up soda was pretty easy for me because we've got like LaCroix and other like carbonated water beverages.
I used to
now.
not like LaCroix, and then now I just fucking am chugging the LaCroix. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
your body just gets used to the not sugar because there's
Yeah.
just enough of flavor in there that it's because like to me I feel like the reason I drank soda and I like to drink soda is I like the fizziness and I like to have something to do with my hands.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so LaCroix, and maybe that's why I used to smoke cigarettes when I was in college. I needed something to do with my hands, and I was like not chugging Coke, so I was like, I just popped. a
Yeah,
cig.
so if they made fizzy cigarettes, we could put LaCroix out of business.
Yeah.
So because
No, it's
I am not
The Pop Rocks in
drinking
your mouth.
because I'm not drinking soda right now, and when I was at the burlesque show last night, afterwards I always hang out at the bar and use my drink tickets. So I was like, what do I get? And I ended up getting sugar-free Monster with vodka, and I was the wildest high school freshman girl in the place. It was great.
Dude,
Dude, I wonder if they have like aspartame White Claws.
somebody
Uh,
got me.
So they have White Claw 70s, which are like, I don't know what they're sweetened with, but there's no sugar in it. There's 70 calories. And then the regular White Claw only has like a couple grams of sugar.
Hmm. What
You
about those things that Keegan Michael Key sells on TV, the Trulies?
Oh,
is
I
that-
don't know.
Is that? Oh, that's like that's like White
another
Claw.
brand of, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Corona
I just
makes
had to bring him up because
Corona
he's
makes a hard seltzer
alumnus.
now.
What about Bud Light Hard Seltzer or whatever dumbass name they came up with for that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
man,
that's a
you-
fucking thing.
it is.
They
Yeah,
call it Bud Light Hard Seltzer.
I think
Yeah,
hard
the
seltzer is just really easy to make. So when it got popular, everyone was like, "Okay, we could throw that together."
So they got a commercial where it's like this. I'm the mayor of Seltzer, Pennsylvania, or some shit like that. And he's like, if you like Bud Light, you'll love this because it's made from the same people who make Bud Light. And if you don't like Bud Light, well, you'll love this because there's no Bud Light in it. And I'm like, if you're like selling to people who don't like the thing that you're selling because of its name, you should probably just call it a different name. Like,
Yeah.
just get ready.
Well, I
It's
imagine,
Indian.
Bud Light Seltzer commercials all over the Super Bowl coming up.
yeah, I
'Cause
guess
that's like going to be a huge deal.
like White Claw already has the brand recognition, so the only thing you can really compete on is like unique flavors or price, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And then you've got things that have been around for so long that they're not going anywhere, like Smirnoff Ice.
Oh yeah,
Like that was around when Zima was a thing, and like it's just not going away. So you're competing against like the mainstays who've been here for a million years, and White Claw, who's like everyone knows what a White Claw is because it's the white girl drink.
yeah.
It's not, as people are talking about I guess the Bud Light Seltzer is actually pretty tasty.
Well, it's just seltzer. Like you can't really fuck it up.
No,
Yeah,
but I mean,
no, I had a
you-
peach one.
You get like the
It's pretty
wrong
good.
like flavorings and stuff. People are saying the cherry one's really good when it's cold, and the can design I think they like better than the White Claw one because I think it's maybe thicker. You know, as the White Claw cans are pretty small. I
Yeah,
feel like you drop those pretty
Yeah.
ezy.
There's two different sizes for the White Claws. You get the
So you
big
get the big
beefy
boy?
pints. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can get a big boy White Claw if that's what you're into. It's really interesting. Like That's like the huge thing now. I mean, like it's lower calorie.
The crazy thing about White Claw is that it doesn't really like taste like anything because it's seltzer, but it's 5%, so you can down those pretty fast to get real fucked up.
Yeah, it is. Bud Light's like what, 3.2?
Yeah, 5% is
seltzer.
like
it's almost double the alcohol.
Yeah, it's not super high for a craft beer, but compared to like the big 3 like Bud Miller Coolers, like it's almost double. So it'll fuck you up.
I think Miller Coors is the same company now.
I will say though, you'd mentioned this earlier. Somebody had I was with somebody and they were getting like vodka and Red Bull vodka.
Yeah.
Such a good drink, man. I tell you, if you're going out for a night, start off the night with a few Red Bull vodkas, because that energy drink caffeine will get you some good, get your motor going to start the night.
And the good thing is the caffeine prevents you from realizing how drunk you are, so you just keep drinking.
See, now I've always had a really good cutoff for myself point. I'm good at like controlling my drunkenness. There have been times where I have drank so much that I have thrown up all over everything. But I feel like I've had enough of those bad experiences where I know in my mind will be like, I'm going to get a glass of water for this round and wait for like 30 minutes before I try another one, or get like a Pabst Blue Ribbon or something.
I need to constantly have something in my hand that I'm sipping on. So as soon as I run out, I get another one. And then I pretty much just drink until I'm falling asleep, which doesn't happen if what I'm drinking also has caffeine in it.
So if you've listened to the episode of Born in the 80s Christmas show, you know all about Matt's drinking.
Yeah, I'm really good at it. Not problematic at all.
Hey, you were able to walk underneath your own power to get home, so I count that as a win, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I had a driver. It's fine.
You were coherent enough to leave. That's enough. But that was a White Claw. That was a White Claw fueled night. You had White Claw. What was I drinking? I think I just had some New Glarus Brewery beers. I think I was drinking, and maybe some.
I think we just did beer and White Claw all night.
Yeah, it was like just beer and White Claw. No hard liquor. That's bad. Man, I love drinking though.
It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I don't drink very often. Like it's interesting when you go to the doctor's office and like, how much do you drink? And to me, it's like I like maybe have like 5 or 10 drinks a month. Like I just don't. But when I drink, I like to drink.
Yeah.
Like give me a good binge, huh? Give me like 5 to 10 drinks in one night.
Once in a while,
I'll usually do 2.
Every once in a while, I'll check out this cut down drinking subreddit just to like keep things in check. And like the people on there, like there was a dude who was trying to cut down to 6 drinks a day. I was like, that is a lot, and that's kind of like going back to the cigarette stuff. It's like that's a lot of money too.
Yeah, that reminds me of like the friend of the podcast, Lance. He used to talk about like, oh yeah, I just get a 6-pack every night after work and drink it. I'm like, that's weird.
Like I could do that, but I would run out of money really fast.
Habit. Like that's when it becomes a habit, that's bad.
My thing is like I could get a 6-pack after work and drink it, and that would be my entire afternoon. Or I can stay sober until about like 7:45, and then just down 2 beers real quick. And then I'm
really
drunk.
fast.
And then I'm drunk, and then I can just like go to bed when I'm still just a little bit drunk, and I wake up and I feel amazing because I didn't drink enough to get hungover. And I didn't spend the entire afternoon being drunk. I just got my buzz on, and I went to bed, and I woke up, and I'm fine.
I imagine you just like watching the clock, and then as soon as 7 o'clock hits, you just shotgun two beers at the same time.
Well, no, it's not. It's not actually like that. What it's like. It's like
together, you chug them both.
What it's like
you do that thing where you open up a whole 6-pack of cans and then just pour them around.
So what I'll do is I'll like watch TV or I'll play video games or whatever, do something on the computer. And like I'd always look at the clock just to see what time it is. If I look and it's like 8 o'clock, I'm like, fuck, I can drink some beer. I can get my shit face going and just go to bed. But like if I don't, then I'm like, I don't want to do that tonight. But sometimes I'm like, I didn't have a very big dinner, So my stomach's empty, so I'll probably get like really buzzed off and just like down in 2 real quick, and then I can go to bed an hour later.
This is the Bite Vices episode.
Yeah,
all talking about
Bite after dark.
TJ, what's your
this is our
vice?
Super Bowl
Soda?
special, John.
Right now, benzocaine.
Benzocaine. I don't know if that's a.
Oh, is that what you? I guess I should have figured you left to refresh your mouth numbers.
So
I shouldn't have to do it this often, but
he's on a topical pain reliever bender.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back before I had
You know what's really good for mouth pain? Cocaine.
No,
bet.
that's what. Yeah, back before I had mouth insurance. Back before I had health insurance.
I got mouth insurance and health insurance.
Back before I had health insurance, I had a abscessed tooth.
Ugh.
And it was the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. I would get like a cotton ball, and I had like the liquid lidocaine, whatever it is. The Orajel liquid, the red liquid, and I would just soak it, a Q-tip in it, and I would just put it on my tooth, and I would just bite it, and I just hold it there until like the pain went just far away enough that like I could manage it, and then I would try to go to sleep and then just very carefully move the Q-tip out of my mouth to not disturb the gum, and then just hope I could make it to sleep because the pain was so bad. It was fucking awful.
It's crazy. Like I don't know. I grew up in this. Like my parents were like fucking Nazis around going to the dentist. Like it was just constant dentistry for my whole life, and I've kept that habit up. I am not a healthy person, but I go to the dentist every 6 months without.
I have been to the dentist probably 5 times in my life.
Oh man, dude, you gotta go to the dentist.
And my teeth are fucked up real bad. Like I got fillings once because when I was like in middle school, I drank a whole bunch of fucking soda and just didn't take care of my teeth. So like I got holes and cavities all along like the top parts of my teeth near my gums, and I got fillings. Well, the thing about the fillings is they don't last forever.
Yeah,
they need work done, and I haven't been to the dentist since like I was 15 and I'm 26. So
yeah, I will tell you,
those fillings have fallen out now.
I will tell you that you have to go to the dentist. Like if you have dental care, go to the dentist, because it's the thing where the problems are iterative. Like it will just get worse and worse. And if you keep that upkeep of getting those monthly deep cleaning, 6-month deep cleanings and brushing your teeth, all the time, you will keep on top of those to where like the dentist will be like, oh, we got a couple spots we got to keep an eye on, instead of, oh, we got to fill cavities every time. Because it's like, okay, we're keeping.
Man, if I am scared to death of what a dentist is going to say to me if I go in
just
there.
Gotta go in, rip the Band-Aid off,
just
man.
go to one of those no fear places that gasses you.
Yeah, they fucking gas you up, man. You don't even have to worry about it.
There's one of those here in Madison.
I had the injected stuff while they planed my teeth. But I still need crowns and fillings and root canals and I think some pulpotomies too.
Jesus.
Yes, my teeth.
They're just gonna look at my teeth and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
They're just gonna say, "Fuck it, get them dentures."
Exactly.
Start over.
It's like what's weird is that like
just get the dentures over your regular teeth. Be like, ah.
Yeah.
What's weird is that like when I talk or smile or laugh, I don't show very much of my teeth, and I brush and I floss. And so, like, if you just look at me and see me, you're like, oh, his teeth ain't bad. But if I go, like, do this to you and you see me in public, you're like, oh, God. That's terrifying.
To be fair, if you did that to me in public, I would also just think it's terrifying in general.
Maybe part of the reason why it is because I had braces when I was a kid. So my parents really like drilled in me. We spent all this money on your teeth, so it's like now I feel like I got the sunk cost fallacy of my teeth. Oh, they spent thousands on the braces.
That didn't work on me, and I got braces twice.
I got the one tooth that's already been crowded back.
I need braces again because I'm already crowding on the bottom again.
I really could stand to have braces a third time, but I just don't give a shit anymore.
Honestly, like if you have dental care that covers it, like Invisalign is the thing that's really easy to do, where you just wear the little thing overnight. Like
I thought that I didn't think that was usually covered by dental care, so it's like cosmetic or whatever.
Mine covers orthodontics up to a certain point, price wise, and so those might be more expensive than like the cheaper options. But honestly, like teeth care is really important because teeth are things that you don't get back. Like, yeah, I could like get a cut, it'll heal.
You're on
You
your
lose a
last
tooth,
teeth.
You're on your last teeth. Thank you. There's the episode title.
There's episode title. Yeah.
You're on your last teeth. But I mean, like, you're always
As
on
we
your
talk
last
about the
teeth.
teeth growing.
I would
in
like to
my throat.
mention that I looked at the etymology of "you're on your last legs," and it is not. There's no explanation to
Yeah.
the absurdity of it.
I want
It is
to
just-
I want to point out what TJ said and just call bullshit on John because TJ's currently making new teeth right now in his tonsils.
That's true. You're making calcium. Unfortunately, I don't think they can put in. It would be interesting if they could eventually get the technology to like completely redo.
Just
Like
like
teeth?
3D print teeth with like a
just
biofilm.
put it in.
Guys, do you remember? I just remember. Do you remember there was a Republican primary debate in 2016 where Ted Cruz had one of those fucking tonsil stones fly out onto his lip while he was talking, and then he fucking sucks it back into his mouth.
I remember that. God, Ted Cruz is a monster.
What a weird alien
You
monster.
know what the worst part about it is? Okay, so we talk about the Democratic debates and stuff being like, oh, everyone's doing dumb bullshit analysis over the way people are talking and whatnot. But do you remember fucking Mark Rubio drinking the water weird, made him not win the presidential nomination?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He drinks water awkwardly. It's like, God, how fucking much must it suck to run for president?
Yeah.
Mocking you for drinking.
The
Unless you're Donald
the
Trump.
Howard Dean
You wear the
scream
fuck you
or
want,
the
nobody gives a shit.
the Michael
Yeah.
Dukakis riding in a tank or
This is why I like Bernie, even though I'm not a Bernie guy. He's the kind of he's like, fuck, I don't give a fuck what you think about
he's
me.
just he's got
This is the
cranky
way
old
I
man
am.
energy and I'm here for it.
I do want to mention though that I absolutely it's like Rick and Morty. I like
Yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Uh-huh.
But I
I'm 100%
fucking
with you
hate
on this
the
analogy.
supporters.
Yeah.
Bernie,
Those
God.
hardcore Bernie supporters
Sanders
are,
and
can
Rick
be
and Morty
pretty
have
terrible.
so much in
Oh,
common.
it's like,
that-
dude, I'm with you, but just
not
stop,
with you.
Stop stabbing everyone else in the back for being maybe let's slow roll some of this craziness. Bernie's way into not having gun control. Do you want to talk about that? Because that's a thing. It's not perfect, guys. I think people thinking it's I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'd fucking vote for him, but
He's no Billie
Jesus, I'd
Eilish.
vote for him. But he's no Michael Bloomberg, who's my favorite guy.
No, I
God.
know
The
you're
crazy
you're
fucking
deep in
part-
the tank for Biden. You got
You know
Biden
what
fever.
Do you know what the crazy part about the Michael Bloomberg campaign is? Is he has picked up so much speed lately because all of the olds are I'd rather have this billionaire than this other billionaire.
Yeah. So one
Yeah.
thing
It's
I've noticed is
ugh.
the only place I see regular TV is in bars, and that's literally the only time I
All over.
remember that Michael Bloomberg is running
He's
for
putting
president.
so many ads on TV. I was in a fucking cafe the other week, and the fucking old people behind me were talking about Bloomberg, and I was like, "What the fuck, guys? Come on now, another old billionaire? Do we need this? For fuck's sake! God damn it!" Well, I mean, anyone but Trump at this point, honestly, is where I'm at. That's my wagon.
I think it's next Tuesday that the first primaries start. So we're gonna get
It's
into
actually
it.
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna
Is it?
happen. real
Oh,
fast.
right. It's the caucus is a weird Sunday thing.
Yeah, it's gonna happen real fast.
Oh no, not tomorrow. It's
it's the
Monday,
week after.
Sorry.
It's they're not doing it on the Super Bowl, but because then it's New Hampshire a couple weeks later, and then South Carolina, and then Nevada, and people are like, Iowa's not really representative of the whole nation, although I think it's a pretty awesome microcosm of both suburban and rural and urban.
Yeah.
Like
It functions more as just setting the narrative, because if someone like Biden, who's seen as Mr. Electability,
yeah,
if he doesn't win either of the early states, then that conversation's going to change a lot.
exactly. It's where does that become? I don't know, man. I've always been a Warren guy. I'm going to continue to be a Warren guy.
Yeah.
Although I did the Washington Post, who do you support most? And I was 100% Warren, and then also tied with Yang. So I guess I'm a Yang gang guy.
Yeah. Yang Gang 2020.
I guess he has some pretty good ideas.
Crazy,
I guess.
So I mean, I live in Springfield, Missouri, which is the highest populated.
Where the Simpsons are from.
No, but it's the highest populated conservative city in Missouri, and it's basically like all the kind of shitty people who live in the farm areas where it's like 60 people, all just like, let's make a city of us, and that's where I live. So here, everyone is super into Trump. It's like Trump town, 100%.
Honestly, I do not get this because the guy is the most anti-rural person in the entire world. He's literally a cartoon New York fucking billionaire guy, and somehow everyone's just like, "Oh, he's like a normal guy." And it's like, no, he's not. He wouldn't shake your hand because he thinks you're a dirty dirt person.
Do you know what it really is though?
What?
It's because he's appeared on two things that target primarily dumbass rednecks.
Yeah.
Appeared on WWE and reality television on The Apprentice. If you're on the only thing, I'll tell you what, he would have cemented a place, and like he could change the Constitution to be president forever if he had done this third thing, and that's appear on a fucking episode of Maury Povich where he was not the father.
Where he's not the father. And
then he gets to do a dance.
Oh! And he dances
so like
around
the mic
chair.
drops and it's in his favor. Like if he had a Maury Povich mic drop on some
We'd be
bitch,
fucked.
not the father, like he would just be like king forever. Like there's no stopping that.
That's okay.
Honestly, if I was his campaign manager, I'd be like, "Got to get you the fuck on Maury Povich with Stormy Daniels."
I think I figured out who the Dems should run to have 100% chance of winning that demographic or from Trump.
Yeah.
Guy Fieri for Democratic president.
If Guy Fieri was a Democrat, I don't know what his political affiliation is. He may or may not.
Probably not.
Well, he's from Arizona though, and they can be Democratic. Who knows?
I don't know.
I think he lives in Arizona. I don't know where he's originally from, but that dude could be cool. I mean, I think he's in California a lot. He did that awesome thing where the fires. Where
he does a lot of stuff like that. I guess
he's he's actually a pretty awesome guy.
Yeah, I guess he does a ton of that kind of stuff, and then just doesn't like toot his horn about it. Yeah. Like the feeding
I will tell you this
and stuff.
Like, people like talk about like, oh, you know, like Guy Fieri is like a joke, and he's kind of like a joke guy. I would 100% rather go eat something with Guy Fieri than like Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Or
I would say honestly, like the two
Anthony Bourdain. That would be so awful. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's a corpse,
especially now.
Yeah, it would be like there with the fucking corpse. Weekend at Bernie's eating something.
It's like, well,
what do you think? Oh, it's good.
I liked your book in 2006 when I read it, and then became really obsessed with you. So this is not really how I imagined.
He's from Ohio. Going. Okay, so Guy Fieri's from Ohio. This changes things. So it's a real toss up on his political affiliation.
I don't know. I feel like Ohio, like everyone says it's a swing state, but I'm pretty sure it's a red state now. Like it did the same thing Missouri did, where like the more black people started like speaking, they were like white people were like, we don't fucking like that, and then it just keeps getting more red. All
right, we're gonna throw some more wrenches in here. All right, he's met his wife while he was restauranting a restaurant he was managing in Long Beach, California, where he lives.
Okay,
so he's in fucking like L.A. area, California is where he lives.
But that could be that. I mean, people always think of California as Democrat, but they have Republican governors.
Trust me, we're getting into this. Well, the Republican governor they had was the most liberal Republican. I would say is very close to Biden in terms of policies. But
he was also the fucking Terminator.
Yeah. They were married in 1995. Still married. Got to give props to any like celeb that's still married to their wife that they met. Like, good being a good dude. But here we go. They have two sons named Hunter and Ryder. I don't know, though. That doesn't seem like a liberal person's kids' names.
Well, Biden has a son named Hunter, so
that's true. That's true. You're right.
But the
Ryder,
two of them together
with the Y.
That's giving me a real Palin vibe.
And he collects old cars. He's got like some old 70s Chevy Impalas and Firebirds. So I don't know, guys.
I'm just saying he could win. I'm not saying he should win. I'm saying he could win.
You know what? Donkey sauce for all.
Oh yeah, donkey sauce.
I just love like the like. I mean, I like Anthony Bourdain's like thing. He was a really interesting dude, but like his absolute like dressing down, ripping on Guy Fieri's like restaurant that he had in New York City for a while. I was just like, why?
Yeah,
like it's a fucking like tourist trap restaurant. Like, he's not making like gourmet food. You know what I mean? It's just so like, why? Like don't punch down. You know what I mean? Like you got to punch at the chefs that are like fancy chefs that are fucking getting away with bullshit. Basically,
yeah,
that's what people should be mad at.
I think Guy Fieri is just a case of like people being mad at the popular thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm gonna straight up Guy Fieri. I love diners, drive-in, and dives. All right,
Yeah, that's a
Guy
show.
Fieri
That's a good
apologist,
show.
John Rowe.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
I'm all in on it. I really hope he's not a bad person. It doesn't seem like he is, based on all of his like charity work and stuff I've read about, and the fact that he's not like had like 12 wives. So like I'm assuming he's not terrible. I think he's a nice. I mean, like I would love to have him cook a meal for me. It'd be fucking awesome tacos, probably. It'd be like pork tacos, and it'd be fucking great. Like that. Like what celebrity chef would you want to have to cook for you? That's a good one. Yeah, that's
Alton Brown.
Oh yeah, that could be good.
That's my answer, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think about it.
Dude, Alton Brown's fucking cool.
Yeah,
Everyone loves Alton Brown.
I love that his show is back too. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good Eats
they're
is
doing
the
more.
best.
I wish that I had all the old seasons of Good Eats on my computer, but I lost it in the great computer fire of many years ago when my hard drives all died. I used to have all the seasons. You know what? I should go to the library. I bet they have them on DVD.
Yeah,
I'll
probably.
bet. Yeah. you get those
Okay,
back.
so since we were talking about political beliefs of TV chefs for running for president,
Oh, okay.
so here's Alton Brown's rundown.
He's from the South.
He is.
He seems
Okay.
extremely liberal because he's way into science.
In a 2010 interview with Eater, he said, "I'm not a spooky snake handler because I live in Georgia and I'm Christian, that I believe in the Bible. I travel with the Bible, that I read the Bible every day.
Oh, wow.
I'm still me. I'm still a guy doing a
He's
job.
a Pete
I
Buttigieg,
find-
though, isn't he?
Yeah, I find actually that people ask me a lot about it. I don't hit people over the head with the Bible. I still feel a funny tinge in my stomach when I'm out to dinner with my wife and daughter in New York. We'll go to dinner and we'll be sitting at the table and we'll say grace. You know what? People are going to stare at you. I used to feel really self-conscious, but I've gotten to the point where I think, no, I'm going to feel bad about that. I'm not going to feel bad about that. I'm not going to apologize about that. Next thing, Brown said in a 2014 interview in Time magazine that he could no longer abide the Southern Baptist Convention's indoctrination of children and its anti-gay stance, and that he is now searching for a new belief system. So I'm going to say this is the kind of guy who like was born in Georgia. His parents were Southern Baptist.
Super
'cause of course
Baptist,
they
you know,
were.
yeah.
And then like he just kind of always accepted it because of like be a good person, like love your neighbor or whatever. And then when it started getting like super anti-gay, like in the past couple decades, he's like, oh no, fuck that. Actually,
No, dude,
Yeah.
Guy Fieri's got to be liberal here. I'm going to read a couple more thoughts for you here. He was born in Ohio, but he grew up in Humboldt County, California,
Okay.
you know, which is like super liberal. He was a high school foreign exchange student who went to France for a semester. I mean,
Republicans don't go to France.
like he actually. All right, I like Guy Fieri is like the best American. Or I'm just
So-
going to say this.
So,
No, I'm going to read some facts, some Fieri facts.
Fieri
for
needs
you.
to take this country to Flavor Town.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Fieri, sorry, I got to pronounce it correct.
Fieri.
Fieri began his association with food in grade school in Ferndale, California, by selling pretzels from his awesome pretzel cart and washing dishes to
Wow, he
finance his
really
trip
has
to
never
France.
changed branding.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome pretzels.
On his return to the U.S., he worked at a restaurant, the Red Lion Inn in Eureka, California, until he went to Las Vegas for college, where he went to the University of Nevada and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Hotel Management, which is the chef type degree kind of thing. Soon after graduation, he went to work at Stouffer's as a manager of one of their Long Beach, California restaurants. And after 3 years, he became a district manager. And then he became famous for doing TV shows and shit. So, like, this is a dude that worked as, like, a restaurant guy on the trenches and worked his way up. It's the same kind of story with Bourdain. You know what I mean? He's a guy who worked in the fucking kitchens and made his way up to that. Like, it's just, I feel good for this guy. I feel like he won a reality competition. That's how he got his show.
Oh, really?
I forgot. He was the next Food Network star. It was the second season of the Find a Food Network star. But Diners, Drive-In, and Drives is like the ultimate hotel watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a hotel, you just turn the TV on, and you're like, oh, hey, this guy's going to have some awesome looking fucking tacos or pulled pork sandwiches I can look at.
Honestly, what it is for me, it's a good I'm at my dad's house for the afternoon kind of shit.
We can all agree on watching this.
Yeah.
That's it. He's the great fucking,
Uniter,
that's America.
Yeah.
He will unite us with pulled pork and tacos.
Now,
Flavortown.
Can we
make America Flavortown again?
Can we have the guy from Smash Mouth as his running mate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Slash body
he's
double.
awful. Is he awful?
I'm guessing probably.
I think he's good, actually. I might be wrong. I know I could very easily be wrong, but I feel like he might not be awful.
Let's just get Michael Myers as Shrek to be the running mate.
Steve Harwell, is that his name?
I think so.
Can Michael Myers be vice president because he's Canadian? Do you need...
Oh my God!
Oh, that's right.
In 2010, Steve Harwell appeared on Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Yeah.
At the Meal Ticket restaurant.
There was a picture a while back of them barbecuing together.
Oh my God. Maybe he's good. His kid died of leukemia. And now he's got a research medical fund that he runs charity for.
Okay.
I don't know. There's very little about him.
He is an all-star.
It says that he plays the ukulele and guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And piano and keyboards.
I have a food-related segue.
I'm going to get a drink.
Yeah, segue.
What is it, though?
Oh.
I can't.
Yeah, because I decided to stop at Burger King to have something.
Was it impossible?
It wasn't.
Was it improbable?
Oh shit! I gotta
Was
hear
it
about
inconceivable?
You
Wallace
describe. I'll be
Shawn's
right back.
callback?
I need to top off.
All right.
Top off could either mean he's getting more to drink or he's pissing. It's just.
No, I think
I've heard
he's
it
getting
both
more
ways.
drinks.
Yeah, I think so.
Are we waiting for him, or are we filtering on?
Wait for him to get back because I
I'm
definitely.
gonna go also
I
refill
definitely
them.
want.
Hey,
I
John,
definitely want
edit
to hear
this
about
part out.
No, it's fine.
Hey, future John.
I could talk about why I was having technical problems because sometimes randomly here the internet machine goes away for 5 minutes. So I tried connecting to cellular, and I'm not close enough to a tower to get good data that way.
Mhm.
So we were just kind of screwed. I kept fighting back and forth, and eventually it all came back.
Is it like a router problem, or is it just like the actual internet is
It's one
unreliable?
of the two. It's either on the router side or it's on the ISP side. I really don't know. I haven't dug into it. I'm not paying for it. It's better than I dealt with in the past.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
It
also-
seems a lot better than Illinois.
Also, on the other side, because I'm actually Wi-Fi here, but on the other side of things, I did spend the past 3 days. I bought a hard drive for my PS4 here, so I've downloaded about a terabyte of video games from the internet.
Nice.
In 3 days, maybe 4 days. I don't know. All right, so John, I haven't talked about it yet. I wanted to wait for you to come back.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear.
So I'm the local Impossible booster.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the fact that my company and Impossible Foods work together. So.
No, I saw a Twitter video kind of showing the making of the Impossible meat, and I've been wanting to eat it ever since, and that was about a month ago. And
I want to hear what your thoughts are, though, on the Impossible Whopper.
So I had it.
My wife had it this week, and she talked about it to me. Sorry, go ahead.
So what I should have done, because they have the 2 for $6 deal going on right now: regular Whopper, Impossible Whopper, crispy chicken.
Oh, so you
spicy
can
chicken.
get it with their deal too. That's nice.
Yes, it's part of the. They've been.
You should have gotten one of each. And
yes,
done it.
that's what I should have done. Especially because I got it at a not peak time.
Yeah. Also, Qdoba has Impossible Meat too, just so everyone knows if you want to.
Oh, it's been a while since I had Qdoba. That sounds great.
That's what I eat all the time because there's one really close to me.
But I ended up getting 2 Impossible Whoppers, and this was probably at around 3:30. So probably not the best time to have it because they're not constantly making them fresh at that point.
Yeah.
Now, I am a picky eater. I've
Yeah.
talked about this in the past.
For sure.
I hate most vegetables, especially on a burger.
Yeah.
So I did it no pickles, no tomatoes.
So you did like the full experience because
just
I
about.
was-
I did no onions as well. I like the lettuce. I wish it was single leaf lettuce, but no, it's the crappy shredded shit.
Yeah.
Single leaf lettuce on burger is nice.
You get a nice little crunch.
But if you want to get some flavor, and this is something I do at home, not
Take
something
you
I
to
might do
Flavor
at home.
Town.
Yeah, if you want to go to
Get
Flavor
that
Town.
donkey sauce.
Yeah.
Raw leaf spinach. I love that.
Oh,
on a sandwich.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do that.
You know, it's really interesting. My brother was really averse to vegetables, and his first like big vegetable foray was doing spinach on stuff.
I still don't like cooked spinach unless it's like in things, like on a spinach pizza.
No,
or
it's the same with
spinach
him. It's
thing.
raw. Like raw spinach is like
I'll do-
it's because it doesn't have a very offensive flavor. It's pretty light. I think.
It's very and of the leafy vegetables, it's probably outside of like kale. It's probably one of the most vitamin fortified too.
Oh yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's if you look at healthiest vegetables, top 5: spinach, broccoli, kale. Those are up in there.
Yeah,
So spinach is great.
broccoli I like cooked though. That you throw in shit, I'll eat.
I like broccoli. I love broccoli. It's my favorite
yeah.
vegetable.
Throw it in there, you stew it, but I don't like broccoli raw or just barely roasted. I need it in shit.
I like them both. I need it raw.
Yeah.
I
Just
same.
I love broccoli.
Anyway, so Impossible Burger at a non-peak burger,
Yeah,
Burger King time.
yeah.
It was very non-offensive. It
Yeah.
it had a nice bite, a nice bounce. What you
Yes.
expect from a burger, but it's also I had it at a time where it's what you expect from a burger that was in a heat tray for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And Whoppers. I asked them what condiments are on there as ketchup and mayonnaise, which I thought was great. Man, if it was mustard on there, I think would have helped a little bit because I really like my mustards. I want something with a bite because I don't like to have the onion on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to have it again. I definitely ate both burgers without fail. Man, their shredded lettuce sucks though. Their shredded lettuce is horrible.
That's unfortunate. I thought they did leaf lettuce there.
And maybe it was just the time of day that they didn't have a leaf lettuce prepped. So I might
I
go.
guess I haven't had Burger King in so long though. Like,
Yeah. So that's one of the ones where they're trying to make it actually like taste and feel like meat, right?
so I've had Impossible
Impossible
burgers
Meat is-
in multiple times in burger form and just the patty itself cut up, like because we've done that too because we've taste tested and whatnot, and it is uncanny the texture. The texture is exactly
spot on.
and it's weird. Good, the flavor is not beef because it's not beef.
It is
but
a little bit
close.
off, but it's close. Yeah,
It's close, and it's just like so. If you're like, if I had this in a burger with toppings, it'd probably be pretty hard to tell the difference.
and
What's
the
funny
texture.
about this is that it is a plant product
Yep.
made for meat eaters. Because I have vegetarian friends who are like,
yep.
this thing is fucking disgusting.
Yeah. It's
Like,
definitely not
I
for
don't
veggie
eat
eaters.
meat. This is fucking weird that I'm
That's-
eating a plant. and
That's
it's
what they're talking
all-
about.
Yeah.
because
It's
they
meant
also
to
made
look
it.
and
They
feel.
let's put was it leukocytes in there to make it bleed?
No,
Because no, it
it's-
bleeds
so-
too.
So it's actually soy hemoglobin.
So hemoglobin. That's it.
So
Yeah.
it was actually the reason why you couldn't buy Impossible like ground to make your own burgers with it is because the FDA hadn't approved that as a food additive until
Mhm.
3 or so months ago, and so now it's starting to show up in grocery store shelves.
Yeah.
As a safe, generally recognized as safe food additive. So it could only be in things that were already cooked when you bought them, because that would be enough to treat it, that it would be safe.
Once it gets to the point where it's reasonably priced, I will use it as a meat substitute. I will.
why not?
replace it in my cooking because
Like it's just even if you're not like, oh, I want to save the animals, it's better for the environment.
yes,
Is it like healthier too, or
No,
Like, no.
absolutely.
Okay.
No.
not.
It is not healthy.
It
There's
is not
almost
because I
no
know
health
with
benefit to it
like
whatsoever.
the Morningstar brand, like vegetarian stuff, it's
Yes.
those are just like loaded with like a shitload of salt and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But calorie wise, at least the Morningstar Farm ones are healthier.
Yeah.
'Cause I think a patty is like 130 calories.
Yeah, I like the Morningstar
I had the
ones.
black bean burgers that you'd mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The Morningstar spicy black bean burger is fucking good. It's got like corn in it. Like,
I'm not usually big on black beans, but that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's good because it's not trying to be meat. It's just like meat shaped, but it's its own thing.
it doesn't even taste beany. It just tastes like spicy, like kind of Mexican-y type like patty. Like it just tastes like it's good. Like on a burger. Like I like their veggie burger a lot though. The garden veggie with like potatoes and carrots all mashed in. Like it's just got a nice like spice to it. I don't know.
Yeah, and like Matt was saying, with those you got to watch your sodium on them. I mean, like you can't just have that and then have like some like French fries covered in salt. So like you'll quickly go into shock of sodium if you do that. But like they typically like they have actual nutritional value. My friend who's a dietitian, she comes over every week to do laundry at my house. She was telling me that because I always ask her about food stuff because that's kind of like my free. I get like 5 minutes of having a dietitian talk to me about her job where she's tired of talking about her job. So I'll ask her sometimes. I'm like, "What do you think about the Impossible Burger?" She's like, "I fucking hate it because one, it's vegetarian food that vegetarians won't fucking touch, and then two, there's pretty much no nutritional value to it. Like it is actually more nutritious to eat the fucking burger."
Yeah, I've heard it both ways, but I think the way the Impossibles try to create it is it's nutritionally similar to ground beef.
Right.
Like
so
it has more saturated fats, but less of the like red meat, like cancer causing things that people are more worried about. So it's like, it's a little fattier. But
where I think a Impossible has its like audience basically is for people who are trying to transition into a place where they're becoming either less meat dependent in their diet or a vegetarian diet. So like if they're like, I like my burgers, I'll do instead of fries, I'll do like, well, I mean fries are vegetarian, but
that's right.
I'll do something, like vegetarian instead of whatever. And then for my burger, I'll do an Impossible Burger. And then like eventually I'll make my way to doing veggie burgers or quinoa burgers or whatever. But for now I'm doing this. And then there's the people who, so raising beef is extremely fucking bad for the environment. Not like if you raise your own beef on your own ranch, like it's actually fine. But like the amount of like having to move cows around from like all across the country.
Yeah. All the carbon used from the trucks.
Everything about them is just so bad for the environment and complete like carbon footprint is just like super bad. And Impossible is nowhere near that whatsoever. Like it's pretty much the same as most other like veggie.
Yeah, I mean it's using animal or plant parts that are commonly sold, and used, and use up the normal amount of water and light that plants do. Interesting thing about Impossible Foods, not GMO free, obviously, because they have a genetically engineered plant to make the soy hemoglobin. So
I don't.
That's fucking weird.
The thing about
I don't care either.
I'm from Missouri, GMO here is a little bit different because we have Monsanto here. That's where. Of course. So like, there's a difference between Monsanto GMO and we made this thing resistant to some fucking like pine bug or whatever. Like there's a big difference. What
Monsanto's GMO is go ahead.
What Monsanto does is they invent a new chemical, and then they also invent a plant that's resistant to that chemical, and then they undercut the market for the seeds for like tomatoes or whatever plant it is with their seeds, and they say, hey, by the way, since you have our seeds and you're growing our plant, you can also dump this weird chemical on it that we've made that'll kill everything except for that. And is it safe for humans? Who fucking cares? Because we're going to sell it cheaper to you than you would have the other stuff. So that happens, and then like the wind blows it onto people's crops who like don't have the safe ones, and they either get mutated or they kill Monsanto is a fucking terrible company. So
they're very litigious around genetic rights. Yeah.
So like in here, I feel like GMO has a different meaning almost, where it's like in most places, GMO is just like, who fucking cares? But here I'm like, gotta be careful around the Missouri companies using that
I've ranted
acronym.
about GMOs in this podcast enough to ruin this place.
Yeah.
I fucking hate GMO labeling, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, no, yeah, that
GMOs.
so I hate.
I think that people should label organic foods or non-GMO foods as worse for the environment. Is what the label should be.
Yeah.
Because that's
Uses
what
a
it is.
shitload of water.
Because
Yeah.
because like you said with Monsanto as an example of a bad company, and I don't want to rip on Monsanto too much because I'm sure it's a place I could possibly work in the future. So as I work in technologies and food, but the idea is they're very litigious around their IP and controlling the rights to their seeds and things, and there have been legal issues that they've had. Definitely, like I'm not going to say that I'm supporting Monsanto as a company because I don't work for them, but like GMOs are the future of being able to feed the world. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and trying to say, oh, I don't want to have GMOs is the same fucking shit as anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
The same goddamn anti-science bullshit. And
Well,
it's GMOs use less pesticides than non-GMOs. It's just the way it is because you can have seeds that are just naturally resistant to the bugs versus just we gotta spray fucking pesticides because the seeds aren't naturally resistant to the bugs, so pour more chemicals on there.
And honestly,
what Monsanto does is they make it so you can just spray the shit out of it with Roundup instead of and so it's kind of like okay, well, is this actually good because you're just promoting the use of chemicals instead of like promoting?
Because they're primarily a chemical company, like the GMO thing. They're like, hey, if we make GMOs, we'll have a thing people can use.
It's like they sell the drug and the disease and the cure all together, and it's like this is a little bit weird. It's a little they got their own monopoly market there, but I don't know. Like GMOs are just like that's the future. People are going to get over it, and like.
GMO
it's
just
industry,
way
you
too...
see the headwinds. Like people already don't give a shit about it like they used to 5 years ago.
It's just way too vague of a classification that doesn't really mean anything because like you need to be more specific. Like somehow
every
separate out
vegetable
the
you
labeling
eat is genetically modified.
For example, anything that says organic kale is lying because kale is a green that did not exist in nature before man used like mustard seeds and shit to create kale.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that we think of as just like regular vegetables that are like the result of crossbreeding.
Yeah, corn, for example. Like, corn used to be like, you get like 4 little kernels on a stalk.
I think it's cauliflower that's like a crossbreed between broccoli and something else.
That's possible. I know that cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts are all the same plant. A different cultivars. They like are different like little breeds of the same plant. So they create different like bulbs. Like the cauliflower is like the cabbage that's all bunched up in little bunches, and Brussels sprouts is little mini cabbages. So it's interesting how that works and how that's not GMO, even though we had breeders like select different and crossbreed things over years to create them. But if you do it in a lab, with a lab coat, then it's bad. It's just speeding things up, guys. It's the same process. I don't know. I was so against GMOs in college because I was a bio major and everything, and we all talked about it and stuff because that was really early days because I was in college 2004, 2008, like really early days in GMO. And then like soon after that was like, this is dumb. Like, why are we against this? Like because the worry was you're going to have genetically modified like plants get out in the wild and fuck with the genes. But what we found is that it's just not happening. The genetics is good.
Like if we were
ahead.
capable of creating a plant, like genetically modifying a plant that would become invasive, that'd be a problem. But typically, like we don't even have the technology, or if we do it, no one's funding a grant to produce it. You know,
and
what
it's
I mean?
self-defeating because if Monsanto creates a crop that spreads into the wild, then they can't sell it because you can just get it free in the wild. So there's like an incentive to not allow that to happen when you're developing something because you're like, oh, well, then people just get it for free because it's just everywhere. Like, no, we want it to be stuck in its own. And that's kind of what's been done. And I think it's so cool. Like I'm so like I love science and technology. And I love the forefronts of that. And like Impossible Foods creating their own soy product that has like the meat tendencies just to increase the chances of people switching from beef to make the environment better, because it's climate change doom and gloom scenario. I want to give a lot of credit to people talking about climate change last year. It's awesome that it's becoming a bigger thing. There's a lot of work to do to get it done. But I want to say, to be on a positive note, because we've had things, is that there is definitely a change towards climate action, even though it seems like it's not happening. It is. And a lot of climate scientists are saying, yes, the doomsday scenario we've been talking about is becoming increasingly unlikely as companies begin to start thinking about green technologies, because it's becoming socially unacceptable to being eco unfriendly. But I will put that with a but. So the like everything's underwater, the new ice age or whatever scenarios that people doomsday scenarios thinking, probably not happening. I will say that the scenarios that like, okay, we're cutting carbon a little bit, still is bad, and we need to keep working, because like we may not all die, but we may have just pushed it out another 100 years.
I think the approach is changing too. Like in the 90s, we were told like, hey, just replace all of your light bulbs. Recycle. And it's your responsibility. And now I think people are like, no, wait, that's like a drop in the bucket. We need the companies to change.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing is like, and I was telling someone like, if you get the like pick a city of like 200,000 population, tell every single person in that city to recycle 100% of the recyclable goods. And then throughout a year, they will have recycled about as much as like Nestle, for example, wastes in about 3 days. It's just like, it's uncanny.
Also,
there's no way to measure it.
Stop buying bottled water.
Yeah.
Because I've also seen companies being like, oh, we're moving to canned water. I'm like, just fucking use the tap. Like getting that can, filling it, moving it on a truck, burning fossil fuels to get it to the store where you buy it, put it in your car, drive it home, when you could just fucking get a Brita filter if you don't like the way your tap water tastes, and fucking drink it that way. It's so much better for the environment. You got free water. Get a water bottle.
Great clip from the Lemmy show, which is called Water, I think is the name of the skit. But he's in a corner shop basically, and he's like, look at this, it's water. See right there, that's like $5. That's like $3. Come here, I gotta show you something. And like the camera like follows him, like man with a cam follows him all the way to his apartment, and he goes up, he goes to the tap, and he goes, water, it's pure water right there. And like gets a glass of it, and like all the people who are helping on like the film crew come up, it's like, is that really water? And like they get bowls and shit, and there's like, oh, they're passing around like, oh my god, this tastes just like water too. He's like, it tastes like fuck all. It tastes like water.
Yeah. My water bill each month is like $20 for the water and like 20 for the silver. Like and so it's like, and that's showers and toilets and everything. It's like water out of your tap is like a penny for a glass. Like I don't like the way my tap water tastes. Madison tap water sucks ass.
But
I got a Brita filter, and I just fill up the pitcher, pour it in my giant jug I got in the fridge, and I just got ice cold water anytime I want out of the fridge. Like, just get it, or I should buy a filter and put it in the water line in the house. To be honest,
I just have one of those ones that clamps onto the faucet.
That works too.
Yeah. Fine.
Like, I don't like those because I feel like they always get in the way because they're a thing. But like, whatever works for you to make your water taste good.
So before we play us off, I have
we're getting out of time.
I have a tiny bit of hack the menu news.
All right, I'm excited.
Let me see if I have the thing for it. And I'm stalling for the time. And
just.
Yeah, I don't think I have it. I can't find it.
Just put what the fuck you assholes doing. I'm fine with that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck you assholes doing.
There we go.
I love that you recorded that from an actual person. Anyway,
it is the best. So first bit, nacho fries are back at Taco Bell.
I'm gonna go Tuesday.
Dude,
the,
do they have?
the
Here's the
box
real
is
question.
back to, hang on.
Here's the real question.
Okay.
Do they have the Reaper nacho fries? Because I don't fuck with the regular nacho fries.
Okay. So the Reaper nacho fries are not back.
Oh,
What we have in its place is buffalo chicken nacho fries, both in a like in a container with buffalo chicken on top of it. I think a little bit of de gallo, and a burrito with nacho fries, buffalo chicken.
a fry burrito?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
am
so
buying
I
that
had
today.
this.
Okay.
It's the most insane name ever. It's the buffalo chicken finger burrito.
Yeah.
Finger burrito. That sounds awful.
Or not finger, buffalo chicken fry burrito, but same thing.
Yep. So
buffalo chicken fry burrito.
I'm definitely gonna try this.
One of my favorite orders from the dollar menu is the spicy potato soft taco. Fucking awesome, because it's like potatoes and the awesome quesadilla sauce. Like, it's fucking good.
Sauce.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that shitty beef that everything on the dollar menu has.
Oh yeah, I see it right here. I'm looking it up. I'm ordering the fuck out of that buffalo chicken nacho fry.
I just don't like pico de gallo, so I'm gonna order it without it.
That's fair enough.
That's what that thing is, but
yeah, I don't.
little tomato onion thingy.
Oh, the
I
buffalo
didn't really
chicken nacho
taste
fry burrito is
anything from that
expensive.
because the buffalo sauce covers up a lot of other flavors. But
I'm
yeah,
still getting hit without.
I just
that quesarito is so good.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
Yes.
I missed the like they had a ghost pepper quesarito for a little while. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was amazing.
Although I seem to be the only one who likes the steak quesarito because it seems like everyone else likes the beef or chicken.
Yeah, I get chicken. I'm 100% chicken quesarito.
I like the steak quesarito. I've gotten them many times.
Before I
And
started
then,
experimenting with this buffalo chicken fry thing, everything.
God, I wish I wasn't drinking because I want to go drive to Taco Bell now.
Every time I went to Taco Bell, I got the chicken quesarito.
I'd have to drive a half hour.
Oh man, you
I'll
really
go
are in the
tomorrow,
middle
it's
of nowhere.
All right, guys, my headphones are low battery. I'm at like 1% headphone.
Well, all right, guys.
Matt's gonna play us off.
Play us off.
Let me just give my quick review for the buffalo chicken fry burrito, and that is that I had it I think Wednesday for the first time, and then today I got 2 of them.
Oh God.
I did have.
So that's an endorsement. Buffalo Fry Burrito 2020 from Matt Hag.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this morning I had 2 of the steak AM crunch wraps. Man, I love the breakfast crunch wraps.
You know, people wonder why Taco Bell is like one of the most popular restaurants for millennials.
It's constant innovation, John.
They have vegetarian options. Like you can
They do,
legitimately be vegetarian. Like
Yeah, they do beef for beef, bean for beef replacement in any beef item. And I don't think
I've heard the black bean crunch wrap's pretty good.
Yeah. Before
Yeah, for sure.
various fast food places started having veggie burger options, like if you were a vegetarian and you wanted cheap fast food, Taco Bell is your only option.
You get that cheese quesadilla, it's fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like bean burrito's good. 7-layer burrito doesn't have meat. Like anyway, I am John Danger on Twitter, the Hell website, twitter.com. PETA is an organization that should be shut down. They still have me blocked on Twitter.
I'm Matt Hag Music on Twitch and YouTube, but hey, you should check Matt Hag Music out on Instagram to see me build a drum robot.
I've seen the drum robot. It's cool as fuck.
I've been watching it. Yeah, I'm
pretty
super
neat.
stoked for it. I'm TJ. That's at MayofMay84 over on the Twitter. I also hope to be streaming on Twitch if my teeth can handle it, and that's twitch.tv/MayofMay. No, this recording is not from Matt. I mean, he's playing it, but it's not him playing. But I could play a little worse than this.
Yeah, do you want to do some live recorder while Spanky talks about how he's not anywhere on the internet?
Spanky can't even talk. I can hear his fucking...
Oh, yeah,
Dude, I can't help it. I was telling you my headphones were gonna die soon, and they did. So I don't know.
Get your fucking millennial AirPods out of here.
Yeah, what they lasted for like 4 hours. It's the longest fucking podcast on the internet. We do this shit. Look at 8 o'clock rolls around and like, let's start. And then we spend 30 minutes talking about TJ's goddamn tonsils. And then we don't even do the podcast for half an hour. And now it's 11:12 in the fucking PM.
Yep, don't do with tonsil pockets.
My name is Spanky Works. Don't call me Spanky Works, just Spanky Works. I'm not anywhere on the internet because it's a fucking hellhole. I don't want anywhere around the internet. It doesn't fucking matter. If you want to find me, you can only find me at one place only.
At his house. I have
Crom Crush.
Don't ask me.
WoW
for it.
Classic, sir.
Server. World of Warcraft Classic. Best healing shaman in the world. Number 1. North America and Europe. You can find me there.
You raid ready this week?
Yeah, that's right. You can find all my work at thesexnumber.com.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
My vial of insulin is about the same price of a Nintendo Switch, LMFAO. Imagine having to buy a Nintendo Switch every month. I only use 1 vial. Some people use 6. 6 Nintendo Switches every month till you die. I don't know why I'm
It's
making
because
this
you're
comparison.
buying too many
It's 11
iPhones. Is why you can't afford healthcare.
Yep.
You kids and your iPhones. I like that, like, boomer memes is ruining our lives. You kids and your iPhones. It's like that fucking Noel movie. That fucking constantly bitching about iPads.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch it because I only watched that kind of shit with my mother, and thank God she didn't know I had Disney Plus.
Could have been Noel.
I watched that really. So there's this Dennis Quaid sitcom on Netflix about Christmas. I think it was called like Merry Happy whatever. It was the fucking worst thing ever. It was just Last Man Standing, but like Dennis Quaid instead of Tim Allen, so somehow worse than Last Man Standing.
It would have been better if it was Randy Quaid.
And the theme of it was like exactly the kind of character you think Dennis Quaid is playing in this, like kind of racist old conservative dad is just shitty to everyone because they're not as into Christmas as he is. Like, there's this Jewish guy who's like dating married to one of his daughters.
He's like, I don't like Christmas because I'm Jewish.
And they're pregnant, and the dad's like, yeah, we're gonna get him. Baby's gonna be Jewish. Like, the whole plot line is like how the dad has to like rally the family against the Jew so that they can make their kid Catholic instead of Jewish.
That's good.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it was a fucking terrible show.
And then in the end, everyone dies.
I actually didn't watch the last episode because my mom was like, all right, I gotta go back to my house. I'm gonna let you finish it on your own. And I was like, okay.
You don't need closure?
No.
Okay.
It could not have ended in any way. They did. Then there was this kid. There was also this kid who's like, Mom, Dad, I've got something to tell you. I've been having these feelings, and I just wanted to get them off my chest. Like, it's just obviously making it like this kid's about to come out to his parents as gay or whatever. And he's like, I'm an atheist. And I'm just like, this is the fucking worst show I've ever seen in my life.
I gotta learn how to cook, boys.
How's your video game, John?
God damn it!
Having fun?
Why did I lose everything?
I'm just learning how to make coastal healing potions.
Is that healing
Alright.
potion made out
Our
of
LGBTQ guild didn't accept us yet.
That's fucked up.
Well, there are only 130 people in it. It may not be active.
Fair enough.
Alright, I'm going to log out now. Oops, I should go back into the rested XP area. Now log out, because I'm not...
You know what I should have... You know what I should have done is just...
What?
I should have Googled, like, in the search you can do
Shit
on
it
that...
in your farted. Every time it gets you.
I don't... It's because...
Yeah, but the word shitted is great.
No, it's not because shitted or farted. It's because of the fucking hysteria that I was in the first time John threw that at me. whenever you were in Stranglethorn Vale hunting down like Bagthera
Oh,
Stalker Panthers or whatever.
yeah.
We were fighting some Tondorcha Alliance person.
Oh my
And,
god.
and he just out of nowhere /Y chat yells in Stranglethorn.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, I shitted and farted. And I was already in like just a hysteria because it was late and I was tired.
That was like enough WoW. We're not going to talk about WoW on the podcast, or at least very minimally. That was the best part of WoW Classic, was the leveling. Everybody else was also leveling, so it was fucking crowded everywhere, and you just were like constantly being ganked all the time. But like
the only time that was terrible was named enemies.
Yeah, when you had to kill a named guy
because the respawns were just shitty, and then like not drops like kill something and pick something up, but like the little like boxes that sit on the ground. You have to right click them, like the chests.
Objects.
Yeah, like that. Those two things were shitty.
For that, like in the undead starting area, there's one of those, and I would just sit where I knew there was a node and just click, like until it popped up. Just try and be faster than everyone else that was trying to do the same thing.
Right now, I'm leveling an undead priest because I feel like we don't have representation for undead priests on the podcast.
That's true. We don't. We've never had one.
I'm sorry.
I'm a troll hunter, so.
Dude, I made a troll hunter named Bengal, like the Bengal tiger.
I named
my troll hunter
named Ulu.
I named my troll hunter Raxer. And
I have a mage named LinkedIn.
A boar named
For some reason.
Mashy.
We went a little crazy.
Named That Ass.
Yeah, that's true. We should get started, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to post links.
And then you can
everywhere.
you /clap and it says that ass claps.
Yeah, That Ass claps excitedly.
Can you
and
actually start programs?
One time I had both.
Telling programs to start.
Computers fucking up.
One time I had both Dat Ass and That Ass. Both the misspelling and the correct spelling of it. And I got rid of Dat Ass.
Alright, I gotta listen to levels, so let me open up my mixer. Open up Mixer, that's what we're streaming on now, right?
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I have a Mixer account.
Okay, here's John talking, and then Matt, and then TJ, then Spanky.
My name is Matt, and I'm here to say I love to rap in a wholesome way.
Mixer, that's MXXR, right? I don't know how apps work.
No, you go to xnxx.com, and then in the bar you type in interracial.
I was just there 2 days ago. It's fine.
And now I can't hear anyone because I have muted everything, and I gotta open up my Mixer again.
Mixer,
all right.
That's where we're streaming.
Wow.
Wow.
That's where Ninja is, so we know it's good. Well, I'm gonna move my camera. It's like I'm not centered.
Oh yeah, I also haven't heard anything about Ninja since he moved to Mixer. So
I think he still gets pretty decent views, but it's like probably not the same.
If you want to follow anyone on Mixer, go ahead and follow my buddy Scrub Zero.
I don't.
Well, he's the story where it's like he's so fucking famous and shit anyway that like he could go on like AOL.com/video and he would still get shit number like crazy numbers.
You know what the craziest part about Mixer is that I typed in Mixer.com without the ER because I just assumed that it was the internet thing of we can't get real names, so we have to do that.
Yeah.
Yep, it's not 2006 anymore.
All right, here's Mixer's top categories, boys. Escape from Tarkov has 9,000 people watching.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a Fortnite, but not for babies.
Oh,
so like PUBG.
But I am a baby.
So it's like PUBG, yeah. What is Twitch's highest thing is? Browse? League of Legends has 137,000.
Do they have a tournament going on, though?
9,000 people watching something, so the difference is pretty stark. Like, Escape from Tarkov on Twitch has 91,000 viewers, and on Mixer it has 8,400. I wonder if streaming on Mixer would make more sense if you were newer, because the pool is smaller.
Honestly, the thing about Mixer is Amazon's probably like thankful that it exists because they control like 99.998% of the market.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, we're not a monopoly, so you can't get mad at us.
It's true, and it is Microsoft that runs it, so it's kind of like big. I wonder if it'll get big. We should start the podcast. We're like talking about things that would be in a podcast.
Can you give me 2 minutes and then I'll be right there?
What?
I have to redo this stuff. My toothache is going.
John, did you copy paste the notes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just trying to get to
I
this
got
one.
380 up there, ready to go.
I only see 379.
There's 2 different docs.
Yeah, there's the 2020.
There's 2 different 2020 docs.
Well, the one I'm updating is the one that's right.
Because it's the one that you're updating.
God damn it, you guys! Why? So
This is why I'm not on the fucking Google Doc.
No. So somebody. Oh, okay, so we got all these Google Docs, right?
I
I
only
created
see
a
the
brand
one.
new one. I created a brand new one, and then somebody updated the old one and renamed it to 2020. I have it shared. It's shared with TJ May, Matt Hag, and 2 others.
2 others.
Yeah. 2 Matt Hags it's been shared to. I'm just gonna put a copy in the old Discord. You guys like can't even figure this shit out, man.
Maybe you shouldn't have 2 docs that have the same fucking name.
They didn't have the same name. I created a new one, and then somebody was like, "Oh, I didn't open the link to the new one. Let me just rename the old one 2020." I have
I
links
gotta
now
get
in our
out and
podcast
figure the shit out. I feel like a monster.
I'm
You
gonna
guys remember Rihanna?
Rihanna or Ray?
Yeah, I remember her.
Ray
I've been
Anna?
pronouncing it wrong.
I thought it was Ray Kylo.
I heard Rihanna pronounce her name like that, so I felt like if she's saying it like that, I should say it like that.
Maybe there are 2 that were brand new. No, this one's super huge. Somebody just renamed the 2019 to 2020.
That was not me.
It was me.
It was not you. It was Matt. I'm blaming Matt. Since it says he was the last one to edit it.
Well, I'm the last one to edit it because I was just in it a second ago. But
Well, it said a month ago, actually.
then that was
Ooh,
probably me. But
I don't watch.
But
okay,
it doesn't matter.
so-
I've renamed it to 2019. I sent a link to the new one.
I
okay.
don't know what it fucking did at all.
So it'll be easier.
Fuck.
Maybe I renamed it and then I decided to create a new one because I was like, we can't have like 6 years worth of documents in this thing. It's getting so long. Because,
But that's our legacy.
well, we still have it.
Nope.
This one goes all the way back to byte 338, whenever that was. I guess that was in 28. No, it actually goes further. So that was as far back as it linked. No, 337 is the oldest one it goes back to. Let's look at 337. Let's see what was happening. Let me just read a couple notes. We got a Game Night, 21 Jump Street, The Show Forever, Konosuba, Marvelous Miss Maisel, the movie The Favorite. So that's about when that came out. Dragon Quest 11, Fallout 76. So things we were playing back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's start the episode for real. I think we're all ready.
Yep.
I'll have to get a refresh on this, but I can wait because I'm about half done. Whoa, 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 what up, G units? Welcome. Thank you. That's
You're
I'll
welcome.
help me find it.
That's what I said.